everyone, and welcome to our very first SolForge Fusion stream. I was trying to think of a clever name that rhymed with Thursday, and I had nothing.
SolForge Thursday. Thursday SolForge.
I really did. Well, the current plan for next week is not even on Thursday, so I don't know. There was a lot racing through my mind. If you're unaware of what's going on, this is SolForge Fusion. I have a lot to say about this, which we will get to. But I had the actual YouTube up instead of the chat.
Welcome, everybody. Hey,
Welcome.
SolForge Fusion, we're officially throwing our support behind this game. That, of course, means that podcast has gone up with Justin. You need to hear that podcast.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite podcasts / interviews. And I'm not just saying that. It really is. It's amazing. We've been talking with Stoneblade, which is the publisher behind this, and Justin, the founder, for some time about this game. They did the Kickstarter several months ago. And I've been checking it out. It's playing in that same Keyforge space. And from my very first conversation with Justin, very impressed. But then we recently recorded that podcast, and I already knew a lot of it, but it was even more.
Put it in my veins.
Just wild. So I'm very excited about this one. I'm a big fan of Stoneblade and Justin as people. I think this game, the more I played it, the more I just dug into it.
It has that slow burn on it, doesn't it? Because it's different. Yeah, and you need to know, so Justin and the Stoneblade Entertainment, so they did Ascension, the deck building game. That's the pretty famous, popular title.
I don't know if you've heard of it.
Don't know if you've heard of it. And then, of course, this is co-designed by Richard Garfield. He's done a few games as well. So, you got to pay attention and that kind of stuff, and that brings some weight to it. And one of the big reasons that this game, well, there's a number of reasons that this game kind of got on the list. First is that it's utilizing that unique deck, procedural generation, algorithmic stuff that we saw for the first time with Keyforge, and it's taking it to a different level. It's doing a little bit differently, and I think it's solving a lot of the problems that we ran into when we started playing Keyforge. Like, one of the things is you might have a brick of 26 decks, and maybe 10 of them you want to play because they're really good, or maybe they're really bad and they can work in the bad deck format. But otherwise, they're just kind of sitting there and you don't know what to do with them. And the cool thing about SolForge is that you're actually taking two unique decks and combining them together to make one your main deck, your play deck. And so even if I pull this deck and I open it and it's okay, cool. So here's the synergies that are happening here. Mm-hmm. I maybe don't have any decks currently that work well with this.
Sure.
But in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years, eventually I might find that deck, shuffle them together, and actually be able to unlock the potential of anything in my collection.
Yeah, as someone with a ton of Keyforge decks, I ran into this problem exactly. And it's not even about in Keyforge how many of these decks are good or playable. It's also, what do you like to play? Does it play to the style you want? And one of the issues, when Keyforge first came out, we were really big fans of that. The concept of a full card game, right? Yeah. The full card game experience that you can walk into a store, pay $10 to grab a deck, and be on equal footing with someone who's been playing for a decade in terms of your collection. Very appealing.
Yeah, it's an important niche to have, and people want to be in that niche.
Super, super appealing. But I think, as Justin talks more about on the podcast we were referencing, that even that one simple little bit of player agency and choice in the two decks you bring together makes such a significant difference, because all those decks and Keyforge that I have sitting there that are they are what they are. There's nothing, you can't even errata, right? It's like the deck is what it is. In this case, though, the idea that every deck is still live forever. It's new stuff's coming out. It's do I have any decks in the archive that I can pair it with?
Yeah, and you maybe you sketch out okay, this deck, what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses, and you try to find that perfect pair.
Yep, and beyond just even that, I think at a lot of turns, even across organized play, which I'm sure they'll be announcing more about soon, they're taking advantage of the uniqueness of the system, and not to overuse that word, in ways that are super creative. And it's almost like the moment Keyforge was announced, it's there's so much potential here. But then as it kind of played out, you run into a lot of games when they're innovative. It's tough. You've never seen this model play itself out. You get 2 or 3 years in, though, and all the stuff it was running into is seemingly being addressed here, and also utilized in unique and very different ways.
Yeah, it's cool to see. You also, on the procedural side, something that's quite notable is that the actual cards themselves are procedurally generated as well.
Which is insane.
So it's one thing, with Keyforge, you have a deck that has, a random assortment of creatures that are kind of pre-built from a card pool. This is actually taking pre-built templates of a certain type of unit with a name and then it's able to generate different versions of that unit and then place them into decks. So there is a significant number of different cards. Different adjectives on these creatures are going to give them different effects and different abilities. So you have different versions of the same thing across a bunch of different axes, which makes it just discovering a deck and finding out what's inside of just one of these is way exciting. It's not just how many did I get or what did I get, it's what version of what did I get, how many of the versions of these things did I get. So it's really, really quite fascinating. You got the Forgeborn element, you got a lot of cool stuff going on here. Anything else? So we talk about the podcast. We got the subscription for this right now. It's going to have an exclusive promo. We're still kind of working out the full fundies of what that's going to be, what's going to look like. Can you give me the rest of your decks over there?
Oh, sure.
I want to make sure this is clear. So we have right here. I'll do a top down.
Oh.
This is
There's a bunch of
decks. So this is 8. Zach's got 8. We've actually got identical decks just for demo purposes. So one subscription is going to get you 16 decks. So this is one quantity subscription. That's a display, and it's going to hold these essentially 16 decks. 2 would get you 32 decks, and on up from there. So 16 is kind of the number in the display. So this is a representation of what you would get. So out of a booster display, you're going to have a ton of different combinations that you can work with. So that's the unit that we're using for a subscription. So every booster display that's sent through the subs will have an exclusive promo attached. And then, of course, we'll be streaming this game now and over the next X many weeks, months, years, etc. as we go along, grow in our journey, learn the game, and show it off to you to see if it's something you might be interested in. Because obviously, art styles, gameplay, the style of game that it is, unique decks, and the way you're combining things, it's not going to be for everybody. So just follow along with us, see if this is something you might be interested in, and we'll be learning as well along the way. Should we just dive into a game?
Yeah, I want to get to playing, and we'll be, of course, if you have questions, you can ask in chat, and we can talk about it. But there is a lot of really cool stuff going on here. So the first thing we'll do very quickly is one of the favorite things. Let's go to the board here. We're gonna each choose 2 decks that are gonna combine together. So I'm gonna go ahead. I like these. I don't know what the factions are called, but I like these red.
They're on the Kickstarter. I think but you like the red faction.
Always red.
Longtime viewers might be a little confused or concerned about Zach liking the red faction. That's weird. Very unusual.
Yeah. You also remember back from our Monster Apocalypse days, I like the apes.
Yeah, right? You did. Yeah.
So literally, I look at red, and there's these 2 like Yeti-looking creatures here. Already into it. Then I see this green dragon thing, the camouflage basher. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and just grab these 2 because I like the way those cards look.
Now these do have names, generated names, like the Keyforge decks did. So what are the names of those decks?
My green deck is the Wardens of Stuffing. It's Thanksgiving time. And then this is, actually this was the other deck, it's wild. This was my nickname in high school. The Expert of Frost Charisma.
That's right. He's icy, but he's cool.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this first deck. And so you have this stack of cards. And then at the back of, at least the way this is packaged, we have our Forge card. And that's really just showing us who's on the play, right? Who's going first.
That's great, too.
So I'm going to put one of those here in this Forge slot. I think you can see that.
I see D-Rod in the chat there. What's up? So Rafe is one of our staff members here, has been working the store and doing a lot of back-end work for a long time. Was a huge fan of this game, and I think his crew, I think a lot of you might be in the chat, were super into it as well. Played a ton of it. When I started talking to Rafe about SolForge, he had all these things to say about strategy and tactics and whatnot that I was like, oh,
that's a thing.
Oh, like I hadn't even gotten to layer 3 yet, and you're talking to me about like the long-term plan of leveling your creatures, installing the board, and all this kind of stuff.
That's right. A couple questions coming through I do want to answer. Ben Sweeney, when's the release date? So as far as I know, backers are supposed to, the target right now is April for the Kickstarter backers, and then I think the retail release is supposed to be around May.
Yeah, June is what I've been saying.
Pretty soon. And then Mr. Warlock asking, have there been safeguards put in place to keep the algorithm safe?
We only assume. I mean, I guess we can check directly, but
only once.
I can't imagine that Justin and the team at Stoneblade is not aware that this is now a sensitive issue for people with these games.
It's crazy. So the other deck I have here, each deck comes with...
You can combine factions, Peter.
Yeah. Each deck comes with a Forgeborn. That's like a main character. That's who you represent. And so I'm going to grab these 2 decks, and then you ultimately choose one of these at the start of the game.
Each of these is also procedurally generated as well. You have the same generated. Sunder and Oros will be around, but they will have different abilities based on what your deck generated. That's right. Yeah.
And on the back of these, you'll also see, kind of like KeyForge, they have the list of the cards in there, as well as a QR code to register it.
Yeah, and I'm glad while we're at the QR code, so you can register the deck, like you said, and the team at Stoneblade, they built the TTS module because whenever COVID hit, they had to do all their testing on this game remotely. So they had this thing built on TTS, and they just basically said, well, we're just going to make this public. And so they have a TTS mod, and all of your scanned in decks, I don't know if it's currently working, but the intent is that all of your scanned in decks you can easily import into TTS.
Yeah, and I believe they have some way of, essentially, because they're planning on supporting it, they have robust OP plans, both physically and online. And in the podcast, he mentioned he wants to build the app, right, to be able to play this.
That was a moment where I was like, thank you.
Yeah, please.
He's like, if it's successful, we're going right to a digital client. You can play with your scanned in decks. You have your collection. You shuffle 2 decks together, and it starts to happen.
But even on TTS, I think there's some way of verifying like the decks associated with your account. So it's not like someone can just like go grab your deck and necessarily play it. So there will be a reason to actually own the physical thing.
Yeah, it's nice.
Which is a whole thing. But it has the list, and it's also got like these icons on there, which are showing you like the names and I think the rarity and what's going on there. And these particularly are uniquely numbered. The Kickstarter ones are going to be uniquely numbered, but the ones in the subscription, that's just standard retail release. So they won't be. That's the only difference between the Kickstarter and what's
I think this is about the only difference. Yeah. That the Kickstarter thing, and then they will have the Covenant exclusive promo, which of course you'll only be getting through us.
And someone's asking about the play mats and the dice and whatnot. I assume that they're going to make those available for purchase or for organized play or that kind of thing. Kind of like we are getting made available to us.
Beverage.
That's right.
And it's freaking eggnog.
Oh wow! Really?
Yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers to you.
To Justin, to Stoneblade, to Richard, to everybody out there, to Zach.
It's
to Bryce, Jonathan.
To
Robert,
my wife,
Aaron, Evan, Rafe.
If you haven't been joining us on Ashes Wednesday, we've been testing out a series of cocktails. We're working on the 3rd iteration of our local store here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And part of that's going to be cocktails, which we're very excited about. Big fans. Yeah.
This is Robert's batch. I think he's been aging it for like 4 or 5 months. Yeah, what's your coaster there? Okay. So you've got your stuff. What Forgeborn are you going to play?
Okay. So I'm going to grab Sunder, the red character. She also looks awesome. Big fan. And then you'll notice each stack of cards.
And this is Sunder from, do you guys know the experts are Frost Chimera? I think that'll help. Frost Charisma, rather.
In each deck, there are 3 different color of borders, right? So there's bronze, silver, and gold.
And this is really important. This is the game.
This is the hook, right?
Yeah.
This is an important hook. There's bronze, silver, and gold. And the bronze is your level 1 stuff. So I'm going to actually take my level 1 stack here. And I've got the same thing for the second deck here. And my level 1 stack here. And those are going to shuffle together to form my starting deck.
And that's what you start with. Yeah. You can draw from.
I'm going to stack. These are from the same deck. I'm going to put those here. I'm going to stack these here. And the way this is going to function is every time you play a card, you actually grab the upgraded version, and that'll go to your discard pile. And the card you play, when it leaves play, actually goes to your banish zone. And so what's going to happen is after every 3 rounds, we're going to reshuffle the remaining cards in our deck with our discard pile. And so these level 2 versions of the same card. So like I'll grab this level 1 camouflaged basher.
This is the coolest thing.
Yeah. So when I play it, I'm going to actually grab the silver version here. And then the silver level 2 camouflage bash is going to go to the discard pile. But you can see, even just from a quick comparison, going from level 1 to 2, goes from 6 to 10 attack, and that's the top left stat. And then on the top right is the health, so it goes from 4 to 5 health. It maintains the keywords here, breakthrough and stealth.
Look at the level 3 version too. Yeah. Let's just get that in the conversation. So what this allows designers to do with a game like this is you have these evolutions of creatures as you're playing them. So it's kind of like I compare it so much to whenever I was playing the early days of Pokemon on Game Boy. That ages me a lot, I know. And the only way to get that Gyarados, you had to put the Magikarp in the fight and then pull it back, and in the fight and pull it back, and then eventually it evolved into this crazy dragon. So similarly in Forgeborn or in SolForge, you can have like creatures that start weaker and get really strong at the end, or that start strong and just get a little bit better.
Absolutely.
And so I'm tempted to like play the strong creature level 1 now, But that means that over the course of the game, if I keep making those exchanges, my late game is really weak.
Yeah, and particularly like the way the cards you're upgrading interact with each other later on, right? There are going to be certain combinations of things you're trying to hit, but you know, sometimes you get in a situation where you can't play the card you want to play.
Yeah.
And because you have to do something else,
it's like,
right?
oh, I've got to block Zach's attack, but I really want to play this egg that's going to turn into a dragon at level 3. So this is kind of the hook of the game. I think is a really strong hook. The hardest part of this mechanic for players, for physical card game players, is getting in the habit of playing a card and then going and putting the other copy in your discard pile. A lot of our early games, I actually realized like at the end of the turn, oh, I forgot to do that, but it was easy because I could just look at what I'd played and go get them at the end of the turn as well. So figuring out how best to actually make that happen over the course of the game is a good question, but you can always recover because you can see what's been banished, what's been played.
And I think there's a key moment. At first, when I knew that was the mechanic, that was my first question, literally to Justin. I was like, that seems fiddly.
Yeah.
Is it? And then I got like 5 or 6 games in, and it was really, really natural. But even when you miss something, when you get to that reset stage, you should have 20 cards in your deck, right?
Yeah.
So between the cards here and the cards here, it needs to be 20. And you can also just very quickly see the cards, or you'll know what you played, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, did I play the Camouflage Basher this time or not?
Yeah.
So you have that moment when you're resetting your deck and shuffling back up where you naturally have a check that says, yo, like something's off, you need to fix it. And sometimes, I mean, it takes a minute or two, right?
Yeah.
And then you're right back in it.
It takes a little time.
Other things that happen. Okay. Basic idea, you can pick the decks and whatnot, and this is the basic structure of the game. This is also why I love it. It's very streamlined, but the depth is crazy. So you're going to have 5-card hand, and then this Forge card will just say who's going first. So I'll take the first action, and basically you can play a card, right? Or action, like you can play a spell or a
Usually
card.
your action is playing a card, yeah.
So when you play a creature, like that Camouflage Basher, if you have the Forge, then it'll go in the front of this lane. That's why these are so deep. If you don't, like if you were going second, you would play someone and they would actually go to the back of the lane.
Yeah.
And what that means is any creature in the front lane at the end of the round is going to attack the opponent. Any creature in the secondary lane can only block. So I'll play something, you'll play something, I'll play something, you'll play something. End of the round, or end of the turn. Then we go to actual conflict.
Combat happens.
And all of these resolve effectively simultaneously, right? So if I was here and it resolved, this would be undefended. So the 6 damage from that level 1 Camouflage Basher would go straight to your health.
Yeah, and everyone starts at 50 health.
Yep. And then you are unopposed here, but you're in the back lane. So you actually wouldn't hit me back. You're just a defender. And then after all the combat's resolved, the Forge is going to flip. You'll be first. All your things will slide forward. And then we'll get, you take one, I take one, you take one, I take one. We resolve conflict again. And so we're going to go through that 3 times, and then we basically cycle, right? Cycle the deck. So all the cards that we upgraded that are over here, along with leftover cards, and then also at the end of every round, any card you don't play gets discarded.
Yeah.
So the cards that don't get played from your hand don't get upgraded that cycle.
And they start to clog your hand. See, I ran into that too. It's like, this stuff isn't very good early, so I wouldn't play it, and then I'd be at like late in the game and still have these level 1 weenies in my hand.
Yeah.
It's like, well, this isn't going to win the game.
And sometimes, like on your second cycle, you could draw 3 or 4 of your upgraded cards, and you don't get to play them all. So getting them to level 3, like it gets tough, right?
Yeah.
So
that's such cool decisions there.
And when we hit that cycling is what that's called, and we reshuffle, our Forgeborn here, we're basically going to mark that we're on the second cycle, and you'll see, like on my Sunder, it's got the little stage 2 on it. And during stage 2, whatever ability's in that box, you can use that once during that stage. So then we'll go back and forth 3 times. We'll advance to stage 3. Now I get this next ability. We'll go back and forth. We'll advance to stage 4, go back and forth. And at that point, whoever has more life at the end of that wins.
Okay.
If it's tied, you go into sudden death.
Love it.
You play 1 round. If someone's ahead, they win. You play 1 round. If someone's ahead, you win.
Right. Love it.
And so on and so forth until the game's over. So the things I really like about that are there's a finite amount of time this game's going to go. It has to end one way or another. The second thing I really like about it is these lanes being fixed.
This is the kind of thing that gets me really excited.
Yeah. It means that placing stuff really matters. because it's stuck on the board until usually your opponent deals with it. But also, the board can only get so wide. There can only be so much going on.
What a relief.
And there's very little of this, like even if you look at this Combat Bartok.
Combat Bartok.
Stage 1. He's got a deploy ability. So that hits when he deploys. And then he's just basically a creature standing out there. Another thing that's important to note that it's subtle, but on the top right of these cards, you can see what the stats are at stage 2 and 3, printed very lightly in there. So when you're playing, it gives you an idea of what am I upgrading into, right? What's the long tail of this? And there's also really fun kind of thematic things that can be done with this upgrade system. One of my favorites from decks we had early on was a dragon egg that really didn't do anything on the first stage.
Yeah.
And then the second stage was kind of like a medium-sized dragon. Mm-hmm. And then the third stage, of course, was like this crazy dragon, which as a fan of dragons, that was really cool for me.
And as Justin was saying, it's really nice because this card game is actively telling a story of what these creatures are doing and how they're interacting, not just with the opponent, but growing over the course of the game and getting stronger. Yeah. Your Forgeborn is getting stronger. You see that the plays you made early in the game are leading to the things that you wanted to play getting better and better over time. Yeah. And so you kind of form this attachment to I really like these creatures and I want to level them up throughout the game and get to their final form.
There was this really crazy roaming Yeti that I had back in one of those early, we were sent some early prototype decks. And I love he could move. Some things can move around lanes. Yeah. Not all things do.
The roamers.
But yeah. So I have my decks. I'm going to shuffle up.
All right. So you're doing red and green. I'll do blue and purple. Let's take.
Edward's saying, "Wow, this game sounds like it's very much like the original. Neat."
I think it's pretty much identical, as far as I know. Okay. So let's take Patrol of the Pliers and Knight. So I'm going to take this and. We don't know how these will ultimately be packaged, and there's still a lot to work out, I'm sure, on the Stoneblade end. So we'll see if it ends up probably shrink-wrapped,
Torres88 says, "Hey guys, I just wanted to say I enjoyed the recent podcast. Justin is such a great storyteller." Yeah, I was, like I said, I was impressed by Stoneblade and Justin going in. On that podcast, we got done. I was just he sold me more somehow. Yeah. I was already sold.
I'm ready.
And here we are.
It was really all the organized play stuff. You kind of feel somebody who's that, I hate the word passionate because it's overused, but someone who is truly that dedicated and passionate with those kinds of ideas, just obsessively I want to do all of this awesome stuff. It's okay, you care about this.
Yeah. Matt asking, how does the exclusive promo work with the subscription since decks are algorithmically generated? That's
great question. Yeah.
That's a great question. I'm very excited about what we're planning there. More to be revealed, but it will work out, I swear. And there's some cool stuff. They're interested in exploring everything about this system that's possible. And that includes the way they're working with us to do that. So more to be revealed on that.
And it's looking like it'll probably evolve over the first few sets as we get the technology established, done, etc. So we don't exactly know yet what the first set is going to look like. It may be a unique alt art forge card, for instance, something like that, as we get started. And then there is a dream/desire there's minions too. There's a ton of minions in the game that we could do alts of. But we're actually looking at potentially getting those promos integrated into unique decks that we're shipping you. So,
which would be cool.
That'd be awesome, right?
Bob asking, does the lower level stay in the deck? So when you play a lower level, if it's an event, it immediately goes to your banish zone. And if it's a creature, when it leaves play, it'll go to the banish zone. So once you play it, you won't play that version again.
Let's get started here. I'm going to play Ironbeard.
I like it.
And it's Ironbeard from the Patrol of Pliers and Knight. So we'll put my Forgeborn over here. I'll keep my Forge card over here, and I'll turn it to unactive or inactive so that I don't get confused.
Brian C. wants to know, will it be one promo per sub? So it'll be one promo per subscription. So if you sign up for 3 of the, are they called displays?
Displays.
Displays. Yeah. You would get 3 of the promo in this case.
And there's a lot of, sometimes you can either put all of your deck cards in one pile. I'm actually going to put all of my level 3s in a pile, all my level 2s in a pile.
You wild man.
Yeah. I haven't sorted out which one I like more yet, but that's why we're here, right?
Why do why, right? Ian saying, I assume you will be able to trade/sell decks to others. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay, so shuffle up, and we're gonna go ahead and draw 5. I'll start with the Forge.
Because it's a learning video, we're not going to sleeve anything.
That's right. It makes me uncomfortable.
You know, we don't want to be sleeve elitist because a lot of people, you know, you get into a game, you don't have sleeves, ready? It's your first game maybe, and it's like, yeah, it's fine to play it the old-fashioned way.
In Keyforge, I wouldn't sleeve a deck until I played it and decided I was going to keep it for a while.
Until it had earned its... Yeah. But it's funny, there is a kind of a collectible nature to this just because these decks are like so procedurally unique. It's like, oh, this is the best deck for this pairing of this other deck. You got to sleeve it, grade it, slab it.
I can imagine too, like I have a deck and then like Keyforge had different tools people built so you could see all the decks online and search them and see who registered it.
Yeah.
And so like picturing, I find online that perfect deck for a pair, and I'm like talking to the person. It's like, hey, that deck, you care about it at all?
Hey, what's going on with that?
I have a low amount of. I pay $2, right? Don't want to get too excited about it.
All right, got 5 cards.
Terrence, same. This may have been covered, but a display of 16 decks, 16 playable decks, or 8. So when you play, you pick 2 decks, and it comes with 16. So the number of ways you could combine those 16
there's got to be. Is that a what do they call that in the math
There's
world?
An equation for that. The number of ways these variables can be
at 8 things could combine uniquely together.
Yeah.
Is that a there's a word for that? It's like a calculus term. I thought you were a math guy.
I am not a remember the name of things guy. You know, I don't even know the names of factions or like Arkham. Is Yellow Seeker? It may be Seeker of the faction. I don't know.
What's that, Bob? Haven't seen you in a long time. Also uncomfortable watching sleeveless cards shuffled. Yeah. Makes me feel like I'm 13 again.
Okay. So you ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
So I'm going to play a card. I'm going to play the Combat Bartok level 1. And we're going to put him... I don't want to put him in the center. It makes me a little uncomfortable. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look. It says the Wardens of Stuffing is the deck. So I'm going to go grab the level 2 of the Bartok.
Yeah, I would just go right to the level 2s and just find the art.
He has a deploy ability and says, give the next creature you play this turn +2 attack, +2 health. And what I do, we have these dice, and I just go ahead and mark the stats.
There's a lot of movement on the stats, and thank goodness it's permanent movement. So it's not static effects you're always adding up. It just is applied and then it goes away. Yeah,
so if you do damage to this creature, it's persistent.
Yeah.
So I would just mark that down, or like all the buffs that say +X attack or something hit, and then usually just stays there.
Okay.
Leonard Ash says a single display has 120 combinations.
Boom. There it is. How's that for? Okay, upgrading one card. Ooh.
Peter Stalker, is it like Keyforge where individual cards have rarity? This is true. Keywords and modifiers both have rarity. So like I played that Combat Bartok. Both of those things have a certain consistency with which they show up.
And we've got a number of keywords. Are you on keyword search for me?
Yeah, I got you.
Can you look up mobility?
Oh,
I'm looking at Armored Techno Hulk.
So mobility X, exhaust this creature to move it into one of your empty lanes up to X spaces.
And if it's exhausted, it doesn't attack or defend.
Yeah, I think so. Let me make sure that's true.
Okay, I'm going to play it here to meet the challenge of your Combat Bartok.
I'm not 100% sure they don't do anything when they're exhausted.
So they could exhaust and then attack?
Yeah, but exhausting would essentially signify something you could do once a turn.
Okay.
Right?
And look, he's right here. So I'm going to take the level 2 version of this guy, this Armored Techno Hulk level 2, and I'm going to throw it over here in my discard pile. So that's going to be waiting for me on the second shuffle, and I'm absolutely ready for that to happen. And you notice I don't have to worry about resources. So like this is kind of a modern, I feel like it's a modern game design thing where I'm not tracking resources. I don't have like gold or mana or any resources in my deck that I have to worry about. I just get 2 actions, and most of the time I'm just playing 2 cards. Anything that says free doesn't cost me an action. So there's a little bit of an accelerator mechanic there if you're looking for that. And then otherwise I'm a 3/3 here, but I've got 3 armor. So your 4 wouldn't naturally kill me. I believe that's 3 armor, right?
Yeah. And as far as I know, things that are exhausted would still participate in combat.
Okay, let's go.
So we'll go from there. Next
let's
thing.
Let's hit it. Honestly, I don't think our test decks even had exhausting stuff in them.
I don't know if they did. Interesting.
JP, yes, you can double up factions in a deck. You can do red, red, green, green. As far as we know, and as we've been playing it, and no one's corrected us otherwise, all the way up, you can combine any 2 decks that you want. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna play a spell, which is Lightning Spark. Deal 5 damage to a creature or player.
How dare you?
It's just
burns in your. I mean, that's red. Nature, man.
So I'm gonna do 5.
If you do 5 to that, does the armor block it?
The armor would block it, and armor's per round. So 3 will get covered, but then you will take 2. And then this will go to my banish zone. Oops. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab the upgraded version. So the other thing that's nice is, without even looking at the names, it's a red card. So right now I know it's in my red stack.
Yeah, that's helpful for you. All right, and then over to me. So I'm at least going to soak your damage. So that's worth something. Your deployability didn't do anything.
It didn't.
What a waste of time. Yeah, there's a rule book, I'm sure. Yeah.
We just have a PDF.
Okay, what about... Yeah, don't want to do that. Don't really want to do that. Don't really want to do that.
I will say the other thing, people talking about whether upgrading and all this stuff and the stats tracking is fiddly. One of the things I really appreciate is there is added technical, like, not even technical, what would you call that? Physical complexity. But the turn structure and the resolution of combat is super streamlined. So in terms of like the time, like even the downtime that you're dealing with, very low.
This is a really good question for me here.
Michael, players get 2 actions per round.
Okay, I'm going to play an Infernal Ritual level 1 here.
Okay.
Destroy one of my creatures to play 2 mindless zombie minions. So this guy goes banished.
Okay.
That's right. We got the zombies coming in. Now they get aggressive this turn, and I can deploy them up front. So let's do...
Aaron, all cards do have bronze, silver, and gold versions. It's not just the units. So, like I had this Lightning Bolt level 1 that I played, deals 5 damage. When I played it, I put the level 2 Lightning Spark. That's what it's not Lightning Bolt, Lightning Spark, which actually deals 8 damage to a creature or player. King of Odinana. I saw the announcement email from earlier and was super excited. As both a Covenant and SolForge fan, this partnership is a dream come true.
That's amazing. Okay, so mindless zombies are coming in. I played an Infernal Ritual, level 1. I destroyed my Armored Technohawk level 1, and it put 2 mindless zombies in. It says zombies are aggressive this turn, which I believe they go front row, if I remember that correctly.
Oh, man. This creature is always placed in the front row.
Wee!
Oh, hot dog.
Infernal Ritual is gone. And then I'm going to go get an Infernal Ritual, and I get to see like what the next version of this does, which I always get excited about. So like as an example, let's look at this. Infernal Ritual level 2, same thing. Destroy one of your creatures to play up to 2 zombie brute minions. So it upgrades the zombies from mindless to brutes, and then all your zombies get +2 and aggressive.
Wow. And
so
the +2, like we said earlier, that hits, everything gets +2, and then that +2 sticks around.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. Edward saying, fine, you got me 2 subs with free shipping. LOL, let's go. Red Tyrant, this is supposed to release, Kickstarter backers are supposed to get it around April, and then retail is currently around May. Someone asked a question I wanted. They were talking about digital. So if you listen to the podcast with Justin, he's very interested in doing a digital version of this game, where the decks you register to your account are obviously what you have available to play online. And currently, they're very much supporting TTS as a method of playing this game. Okay, end of round?
We're done. 2 actions apiece.
All right, so we resolve combat happening simultaneously. I'm going to go ahead and track here. I'm going to start at 50.
Your health, etc.
50. I'm going to deal 4 to you. You're going to deal 6 to me.
That's right. I like that trade.
So I'm going to go down to 44. Yeah, it's good. Good for you.
I go down to 46. Yeah.
So proud of you. So proud. Okay, then we're going to discard.
Yeah. Can you talk about how zombies were like a token, but not actually anything?
Yeah. So zombies. So there's a number of tokens that you can summon, and they come with any deck. Like you get token cards equivalent to what your deck can summon. So like we just made a big stack of them for ease of use on the stream. But they were packaged with our decks in particular. And I think these are just cards. You're going to have a ton of these. These are like tokens in any kind of a card game. Micromajigs and spoils.
It's funny. I was literally thinking Micromajigs.
It's like always what I think of too. Yeah.
Okay, so end of round. Resolve combat. Discard your hand. Anything you didn't
All
play.
Of it.
Anything you didn't
Into
play.
the discard pile.
Yeah, and one thing you can do to just make sure things are going right, you should have 5 cards there right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I actually do this, and then I'm going to discard vertically, and every time you'll have 5 cards.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I like that. You just make sure you're always 5.
Incorrectly. Yep.
Okay, right on.
So then we're going to flip the Forge to you. Each draw 5, and we're on our second round.
And if you're good, and this is what Smurl is talking about in the chat. So there's a lot of people that played the digital game of SolForge, which was very popular for a time. If I look through my deck and I look at my level 2s, level 3s, I can start to develop a game plan before the game starts, knowing what I might want to be upgrading to get to this kind of end game synergistic board state where I have a couple of heavy hitters that are working really well together to kind of form my late game plan.
Yeah. And
right now, I'm just playing what looks fun.
Absolutely. And you have to get to know the deck. It's kind of like Keyforge. You have to understand what it's doing and how it's unique. The other thing that I'm excited to get to is when I will know what cards I really want to upgrade based on the kind of factions I'm playing against. So like I see you're playing purple and blue. There might be upgraded versions of cards that are more effective against that than against others.
Oh, yeah, we love this. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's play a Venerable Creeper, level 1. This card is bananas. Deploy. Deal 5 damage to an enemy player unless they destroy one of their creatures.
I'll destroy a creature.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
Level 1, Combat Bartok, destroyed. I'm going to put it in my banish zone.
So good. Yeah. Venerable Creeper is going into the discard pile.
Look at you with your creepies. I don't like this. I don't like it one bit.
It's just, sometimes spiders.
I'm going to look up a keyword real quick. Okay, cool. Got it. Okay, I need to look at my tokens too. Not saying I have any. I'm just casually saying.
It's worth noting too. So we played a lot of the early beta prototype versions of this, and I know a lot of the abilities and the text and stuff has been changed as everything's moved forward, getting ready for Kickstarter. So some of the stuff we do have to look up. It's just because some of the keywords have changed and a lot of the abilities have changed.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think?
I declare.
You're getting wrecked currently.
Not true at all. I don't feel that way.
That seems obvious to me.
Whatsoever.
Is it not wrong?
It is wrong. It's crazy wrong. We're going to play a Firestorm. Level 1. Deal 4 damage to all creatures.
Well, that's clever.
Boom! This is what I meant by...
The classic Zach Waboom moment.
Depending on who you're playing against, right? So like the upgraded version of Firestorm, level 2, is 7 damage to all creatures.
Yeah.
So an AoE effect like that, if I'm not expecting to have a ton of stuff on the board, depending on who I'm playing against and if they are controlling my board.
If you're seeing purple, you probably expect some zombies. Maybe Firestorm is going to upgrade through the pipe.
Or if you're playing against red, they're going to destroy your creatures.
Mm-hmm.
So something that hits your creatures too doesn't matter as much.
Right on. Yeah. And maybe I'll play a little less wide moving forward, now that I know. Okay, next up.
Aaron, the colors do represent factions. The names of said factions are on the Kickstarter. I'm so bad at that kind of thing.
Oh man, there's these cards in my hand, and they get better if certain conditions on the board are true. Like if I played Scientist, for instance, and the fact that I haven't drives me crazy.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
So now my second play here is actually there's not a lot right now that I want to do on the board. Like I could play a creature that maybe gets it some damage through, like 3 or 4. But I'm also kind of looking at maybe I'll just burn a card to level it up because I think it's going to be useful for me later.
Yep, that's where I'm at.
Okay, well.
Z saying, it seems a little unfortunate that the graphic and art design in this game is so serious. What I and my wife really liked about Keyforge was the brighter colors and readability of the cards. It definitely has a different tone going on, but I will say, we'll see if we get to some of them. The game also finds a way not to take itself too seriously.
But I will say too, I think that's a natural strength of Keyforge too. I think the art design and the vibe of Keyforge this is not a replacement for Keyforge. It's just the same release model, which is really, I find to be really important. Okay, you know what I'm going to do?
Appreciate that. I'm done. It's over.
I think I'm going to do this, and I know I know that. Okay, I see what this deck's trying to do. I think So let's go ahead and just play a Nano Swarm level 1. Let me play a Gizmo minion.
Tricked yourself.
Right here, right? I'm going to put it right here. And the Gizmo minion says, when a creature replaces this, give it +2/+2. So when you overwrite there.
Yeah, you can basically play a creature over something in the lane.
Yeah. Now, what's crazy, so I'm going to get Nano Swarm too. I've got a card in my hand called War Machine. And when it replaces a creature, you give it +4. And Gizmo here says, when a creature replaces this, give it +2/+2. So if I drop this level 1 War Machine here, it's +6.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like I'm wanting to set up where these Gizmos are out and these War Machines, I might start leveling them up to try to get them to just like greater than the sum of their parts. However, for now, I'm just going to sit there on one Gizmo. Right. I would have gotten 2 if I had a Scientist, but alas. Okay, let's go.
Retro Daniel. War Machine, not related to Iron Man.
Yeah, more Gizmos coming in there.
All right. Over to me.
Yeah.
Stop it. Let me look here. Okay. I will play a Summoning Worm, stage 1.
What's that do?
Deploy, I may play a Spell Sprite minion.
Okay. 1 health over there. That's weak.
Grab the upgrade.
It's a good last play, so I don't have a chance to get it off the table.
To nuke it.
Oh, you're just going to... That's a good play for you. You're soaking 4 damage.
I do like the
Killing my stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so that'll be the end of my play. Combat's going to resolve. There are creatures in these lanes, so they will hit. I will take 5 and do 6 back to you.
You got me.
That goes to the Banish Stone. I will take 2 here and do 1 back to you.
The minions are having a great impact there.
So let me go to the end of the round. We discard. I'm going to count. I have 5 more again from this round. So
we're 5 as well.
We're set. The Forge will pass. We will each draw 5.
And this will be the end of the first round, or whatever they call
this
them.
one, yeah.
The first cycle is what I call them.
Yeah, cycle. There it is. A turn is the 2 actions each. All right. Let's look at my hand.
Lucas, the winner in the chat there, does marketing over there at Stoneblade, said, hi, everyone. Lucas from Stoneblade. How's it going? What's up, Lucas? Hey, it's great.
What up?
Having a good time.
I gotta look up some more keywords here.
Ben, this is a good question. With your guys' love of Fab and your interest in SolForge organized play, do you see yourselves wanting to maintain 2 card games at a high level? As like a personal player, I think Fab, to me, it's going to be hard. You're not going to get $1 million Pro Circuit, Pro Tour thing from really anything that isn't in that TCG big name space. So I think I could pretty easily maintain for myself SolForge, because SolForge is not, I'm not buying booster box after booster box, basically having to collect all these cards and get what I need to build the perfect deck. I'd probably get 1 display, maybe 2 displays. I'd have those decks. I'd figure out which ones I think are the best combination. I'd take that to a tournament and play that. If I do well, I might keep going with it. I know that Stoneblade has talked about the idea that decks level up as they get more wins, which is a fascinating thing. And there's a lot of ideas in the organized play system. So we just kind of have to wait and see what they're ultimately going to end up doing. But I feel like with the model of this, it's way less taxing to try to keep up with it as compared to Flesh and Blood.
Yeah, and even now, I'm playing several games a lot because of the stream, partially. But I'm playing a ton of games. And a game like Ashes, for example, playing yesterday, I'm not playing it on the same level I'm playing Fab. But one of the challenges with a game like Ashes is to build decks, either you have to net deck or you have to put in a lot of time.
Tons of time, like tweaking and tweaking and tweaking, right?
So with this game, I mean, you can take a break for 6 months, show up, buy a couple decks, and play, which is one of the big strengths of Keyforge too. So it definitely, it seems like the kind of game, when you're really into it and you have the bandwidth, you can be into it. And who knows? Once we've been playing for 6 months, maybe I'll be obsessed with it. But Keyforge, I was kind of in that secondary slot for a long time anyway, which is
this Tuesday
Destiny,
nights in the store,
and then I would just hang out and play Keyforge.
And or Wednesday night. And you guys were jamming this at the airport. I know that was happening a lot. Yeah, it's like it's a really easy game to just set up and just jam.
Yeah, so there's room in our lives for multiple games, so to speak. All right, let me. I need to just look at this keyword quick. Okay, cool. Wow, that's powerful.
And
yeah.
I've got some stuff in here that you would love.
The purple stuff?
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's play this guy because I think he'll be really frustrating for you. Unstable Razor
What's up, Colin?
Level 1. Deploy.
What?
If an opponent has gained life this turn, he gets +3 attack. You have not done that.
I've not done that, no.
And then he has a static ability. When this unit loses life, deal 1 damage to each enemy creature. So
right now, if I did damage there, it would kill my Gizmo.
If you poked him, yeah, your Gizmo would go away. It'd be really crazy.
Gizmo.
What up, Obsidian?
Oh man, the synergy here was almost on point, but the sculptor was too arrogant ultimately. Okay.
You could also upgrade right over that Gizmo and then off to the races we go.
Man, is that it? That's a deploy if an opponent gained health. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my
Monty, the
gosh.
boosters, as far as I know, do not come with dice, but I assume the dice sets will be made available. And I think these are just D10s. Or 8s. 8s. Is it D8?
10.
10. I had it right the first time.
You do the finances for the company.
I don't know what Paul, how many sides die had. If I could put it in a spreadsheet, I would have solved it real quick.
Okay. Let's start. What you got them? You said?
I got him. I texted him that.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Aaron Clark, on average, how long does a game take to play? So it's 4 rounds of 2 actions each. Ultimately, I found they're 30 minutes or less. Van, hoping to get the playmat outside of the Kickstarter. I assume that will be the case. John, how do you win? So we each have health. We're marking over here. I have 44 health left. Steven gets me to 0 and wins the game.
I have an interesting question. Can you read replace for me in that rulebook?
Banish a creature in play to play another creature in that lane.
Perfect.
That creature is not destroyed.
Okay, so I'm going to replace a Gizmo here. So I'm going to banish this Gizmo. It's a minion, so it won't matter too much. When a creature replaces this, give it +2/+2. So I'm going to come in at 4, 7. And then I have an ability now on the table. Each player destroys their lowest attack creature. It's an activate ability, so I can threaten that as I like. Can you read activate to me as well?
Activate.
What did you play with?
That is a Palladium Pulse Mage level 1.
Activate. Exhaust this card. Rotate it sideways to use this ability.
Easy.
Easy indeed. Okay.
Now, can I use that on my turn, on your turn,
You
etc.?
can only use it when you're the one taking actions.
Okay.
Otherwise, it would get interesting.
So I could use it right now if I wanted to.
Yeah, before I play something, yeah. But if you use it, you'd have to destroy yours, right?
Yes.
Because that is your lowest strength creature.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to use that.
That's
That's probably a good idea. Yeah, thank you.
big brain time.
Yeah, thanks for helping me out with that math problem.
Yeah. There's another useful piece of advice. If you're sitting out there and you're hanging out, don't forget, hide your brain, hide your life.
100% HCP food grade plastic.
Thank you to our sponsor.
Water brand, water your life. Nalgene water bottles made in the USA.
HTTP free. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. HTTPS free. It's a secure website. All right. I'm going to play. I love this creature.
Simon, talking about the how the heroes work. So once we have this last cycle, so we'll be down to 5 cards in your deck. We'll shuffle the whole thing back up, and then our first hero ability will be online at that point.
I can't play that. Actually, that's a hilarious counter. So I just drew this card. I'm going to tell you about it because it's exciting to me. It's called Thundersoar, stage 1, like a dinosaur, Thundersoar.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, that looks awesime.
Yeah, it's like
that's
Godzilla
like a Godzilla.
thing.
Yeah, what's up?
0 strength, 12 health, breakthrough, which is like overkill. So like if you block it, any damage to do in excess of the health would actually hit you still.
Nice.
And it says when this is dealt damage, give it that much attack. 12 health.
Oh, wow.
So if you do like 10 to it,
yeah,
it's
we've
10
seen that's
strength,
a Dread Wraith, man. That's your Ash's Dread Wraith.
but it's 0 power. So if I play it, you play a creature, activate your ability, you're not, like, he's just gone.
True.
Don't like that.
True.
I'm going to play a Camouflaged Basher, stage 1. And he's got Breakthrough, which I just explained to you. He's also got Stealth. So that was the keyword I was looking up earlier. Stealth is, this cannot be blocked by creatures in the back row.
Right on, of course. So I just got to take that one, huh?
Or play something that destroys him. You know what I mean? And I assume not be blocked would mean that they just don't fight. I just punch you directly.
Yeah, just go right through it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got to think seriously about this one.
John asking, why do the cards have different border colors? So the border colors symbolize what stage that creature is. So stage 1 is bronze, like that Camouflage Basher that I just played. And when I play it, I actually grab the stage 2 version and put it in my discard pile. So when this Camouflage Basher leaves play, it'll get banished, so I won't get it again. But after this, we'll cycle our decks, and I'll actually have access to all these stage 2 cards that I've been upgrading as we've been playing.
Man, Camouflage Basher, what are you up to, man?
He's just cruising, man. Dude, his level 3 is 13 attack.
Well, I'm gonna
be like at the end of the game, you just can't block him.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Let's play a Camouflage Banshee over here in the back row.
This is a great example of something. So, procedurally generated decks, every deck is unique. Every stack that we're bringing, there's no 2 decks that have the same combination of cards.
Or so they say. I mean, how could we possibly prove it?
But algorithms, people are going to... Anyways. So, Camouflage, if you look at these 2 units, they both have the word Camouflage and Stealth. So, I'm assuming if something is a Camouflaged X, it means that they have Stealth.
They have Stealth.
And then whatever the standard loadout is of the rest of them. Okay?
That's me. That's the end of the round.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll resolve conflict. You're going to take 6 damage.
6 damage to me, right to the face.
Yeah. I'm going to deal 2.
2 to me.
You're going to deal 4.
That's right.
So I'm going down to 3. But then my ability triggers, which says, when this loses life, deal 1 damage to each enemy creature. Then I'm going to deal 1 to you. And you're going to destroy my sprite.
That's right. You gone. Okay. And everything moves up. We discard things in the discard pile. Huh?
It's so great having when you're so familiar with your own systems that you don't know what it's like. Brett asking a very valid question. Joining late, watching the beginning of the stream. You may have already answered this, but with a subscription of 2 displays, does that mean you'd be getting the same 16 decks in the second sub? So that's not how it works. Every deck in this game is unique. Like no 2 exact combinations of all the different stuff in the deck happens. So if you buy 2 displays, that'll be 32 completely unique decks. And then anytime you play, you pair 2 of those together and you're ready to roll.
So Andrew, good question on the replace mechanic. At least the way we've always been playing it is that you banish the thing, but because my Forge is inactive, I can still only play to the back row. So it would remove something from the lane. Can you turn that off, Bryce? Can you turn the AC off? It would remove whatever it's replacing from the lane, but it still doesn't get a free pass to the front of the pocket.
Yeah, because the way replace reads, at least in the rulebook we have, is banish a creature and play. So it goes to the banish pile. To play another creature in the same lane, but not the same spot.
Right, so I play it in the same lane, but because my Forge is inactive, it can only be played in the back.
Murph asking, is it a Keyforge-esque model? Yeah, so the decks are procedurally generated and they're unique. Couple differences. It's the cards are also procedurally generated. We're just talking about camouflage being on these 2 things. So you're smashing, the cards themselves are being produced. I think Justin said there were 15,000 unique cards in the first set, like combinations of the different stuff, which is crazy.
Maybe it wasn't 150,000? 50? I don't know. It's crazy.
15,000 cards in a set is crazy.
Yeah.
It may be 150,000, but you also pick 2 decks to pair together, unlike Keyforge. Those are some of the key differences happening here. And I need to put.
Yeah, this is a good question from Eric too. This is the kind of stuff that like we just, as far as like the step-by-step comprehensive rules. So like because this says when this loses life, deal 1 each enemy creature. Is there a stack?
So
like, what happens there?
Resolution of combat, as far as I know, is simultaneous. So it would lose the life, but if you had a creature here with 1 health, it would still do its thing before it goes away.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. Okay, so end of the round, we discard. Now, you should have 15 cards in your discard pile.
Okay, I've got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from that round. I got 15 cards. So since we're new, we're just going to make sure. 5.
And then I have 5 cards left in the deck.
15. Okay.
So I'm going to grab all these, shuffle them together. I'm going to put this little token to represent we're on the second cycle.
So now we take what was left in our deck, add it to the discard pile that has some of our upgraded cards in it, the ones we played. We shuffle that up, and then this is our new...
This is our second cycle.
Now we're in the second cycle.
And you're going to start the second cycle.
And we're going to put a mark here. So now Ironbeard here has access to the Reinforce ability. Give one of your creatures +4 attack this turn. It gets +4 armor.
And mine on Sunder here is play a spell for free. So free is a keyword. You might notice there's no resources in this game. Another thing I really like about it. Free means it doesn't take my action. So once this cycle, I'm going to actually get to play 3 cards, which is powerful.
Wow. Maybe you don't draw any spells, though.
You remember when I upgraded a couple spells earlier? There may have been a reason.
Yeah.
Because I saw that coming.
Lucas with the hot answer here. So all combat happens simultaneously, then any abilities from combat happen, starting with the abilities of the Forge player, then the non-Forge player.
Cool. So we would do all the damage, and then we would trigger any abilities for the Forge player, trigger any abilities on your side.
Makes sense.
Yeah, at pretty much every turn they made sure it was not getting overly complicated.
Okay, we're back. Better than ever, and I see some level 2 cards now, which makes me particularly excited.
And I'm seeing cards I haven't seen yet. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Ooh, I like it.
Oh, dude. Watch out here. All right, I gotta find a way to not die, though.
Yeah, good luck. Nah, you good. You got this. Micah, the Keyforge algorithm issues were that they lost it.
It's lost. It was lost.
It's like the Entwives. Don't know where they went. If you see them, tell them we're looking.
Okay, here we go. Let's do this.
Simon, yes, each hero is procedurally generated, apparently. Which will make your head spin.
I'm gonna mess you up. I'm gonna mess you up, man. Oh my gosh. All right, let's start here. Let's see what you do with this. I'm gonna play Recycling Reinforcements, level 1. Deploy, give adjacent creatures +3 health.
Cool.
We call that synergy where I come from. Have you heard of the term?
Is that that's what Vegas is known for, right?
Yes, synergy.
Synergy City?
And then if it replaced a creature, it would have +2/+2, but it did not. And I'm gonna go get the recycling reinforcements and throw them in.
So the blue team likes a full board.
Seemingly, but I know you got that Firestorm sitting there, so I've at least got one at 8. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, I'm going to play my level 2 Lightning Spark. Deal 8 damage to a creature or player. So I'm going to deal 8 to your creature.
That's the perfect number.
I mean...
But I feel like it kind of saved me from taking 8 to the face.
Yeah.
So it's worth something.
I'll have you know, this level 3 that I just put in my discard pile does 10 direct damage to a player or creature.
You're just going to get me ready for when I'm going to complain about that.
Just being like, whoa, boom.
I like these matchups, but you're gonna do. It's just a bummer going first like this.
At the wrong time. Oh, I've got to play. It's gonna be so good.
Let's play a Venerable Creeper over here. It's a 6/8, level 2. Deal 6 damage to an enemy player unless they destroy one of their creatures.
We'll take 6.
He likes the stock. I like my board.
35. 35.
You about to clear things out over here?
No. Me?
Get that creeper. That's a level 2. I get to level 3 that thing. Wee-hee.
Decision. The thing that kills the weakest creature is not out anymore, right? That guy's gone.
It's gone. You just nuked it. 8 damage.
Alright. Let's just swing this totem. I'm going to use my ability. You want to give me an armor token so I can mark that I've used it?
And it's across 3 shuffles. So like if you're using it now, you're kind of cashing it in. Huh?
I am cashing it. Can you give me an armor token?
Asking for a friend.
I'm gonna mark that I've used. I'll use armor when I've used it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Sounds good.
So I'm gonna play.
You could also like tap it or whatever.
Vine Lash level 1.
I remember that spell being good.
Well, you know, it's fine. I wouldn't worry about it too much. One of my creatures battles an enemy creature.
All right, what are you gonna do?
So my Camouflage Basher is gonna actually battle this thing.
You got it.
So
take 1.
But I have Stealth, which I don't think matters. But I have Breakthrough.
Not at all.
This is the important thing. So I'm dealing 6 to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll take 3 here and 3 on you.
Right.
And I'll take 1.
Got a 37.
Which both clears that spot and deals damage to you. So I'm excited about that. Then I'm going to finally play that Thunder Soar. Get to stage 2 here. And
okay.
That's the end of,
I see that.
Activation.
Your Thunder Soar stage 2?
Thunder Soar is stage 1.
Stage 1, yeah.
I grabbed the stage 2. Right. Okay, end of round.
Combat?
Yep. Happening simultaneously.
4 to 3. I lose 2.
Yeah. Now, I'm curious, Lucas, if you're still out there. It says, when this loses a life, deal damage to each enemy creature. If you defeat me, I assume that's still going to trigger.
I think it'll still trigger. Yeah, you can just slide him back there.
Do this so that we know what's happening.
And this is going to happen too. When an enemy creature is destroyed, deal 3 damage to the enemy player.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So if that order would matter, we'll just resolve it in order.
Okay. 6 damage to you.
6 damage to me. Go to 31.
You hit me for 6.
That's right.
I don't do any back because I'm at 0, I presume,
at
the start of that. But then I will be at 6. I gain attack equal to my
awesome.
Damage that I've sustained.
It's quite awesome.
Which is a cool design. Then we trigger the abilities. So starting with you, you would do 3 to me, right? Because of that thing?
Yeah. 3 to from the Banshee ability, and then everything takes 1 from your ability.
Yeah, on your side of things.
And yes, we have confirmed it does still trigger, yeah.
Okay. All right. And then we'll pass the forge.
Discard our hand.
Discard. And again,
pass the forge.
If you got 5, you're good to go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've done it. Let's see what our deck spits out this time.
Slide her up. And let's look at my hand.
You're so tempted to keep playing those level 2 cards because they're so awesome right now, but I'm making the same mistake where everything else is level 1.
Yeah. And level 1 things are weak. Weak. Ooh, that's so close to good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just get this Sprite back because I'm going to use it a lot.
If you put the upgrade in the discard pile, but the lowest level stays on the board into the next cycle, what happens? You can have 2 copies of... You can have a level 2 and a level 1 on the same board.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
It's a big day. Got the corduroy on.
That's right. Let's go.
It's a shirt made out of pants. What's up, Nathaniel? So excited for this. I backed the Kickstarter and immediately subbed to it through you guys. Thank you so much for that. We're amped to be a part of this.
Let's play a Utera Charger, stage 1. Deploy, you may have this battle a creature. So I'll go ahead and have them fight.
Oh man, that's so in your favor.
So I go down to 1 life, and then I'm hanging out.
You have made a grave mistake with this play.
Have I?
Yes.
I'm nervous. Not really. A grave mistake in that now you're offended by me?
Yeah, I'm just so offended. So let me just asking for a friend. All of these cards are level 1 that you're showing me here, right?
They are. Yeah. This is my build the beef phase.
Pretty interesting stuff though.
You feel like you're slowly... I mean, you're ahead in health. Aren't you?
I'm gonna win for sure.
You're at 31?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. You're also behind there somehow. I thought you were way ahead of me. That's how it felt, at least.
Well, it really is important.
How I feel, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, come on now.
Come on.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Okay, don't forget about creature above this turn. It goes
And if you're out there and you're thinking, like you're checking out this game and you're watching this and you have not listened to the podcast we posted with Justin this week, I highly recommend it. He gives a little bit of a peek into a lot of the future plans and just the working behind the scenes on this. I think it's super relevant for considering whether or not you want to get into this game.
Can you just look up Defender for me? Just curious. If I got the text on that. Defender, yeah. It's important to make sure before you play it.
This creature must be played in the back row and cannot enter the front row.
Okay. That's quite a disadvantage.
Yeah, but they're usually like brick houses.
All right, we're gonna play the Camouflaged Summoner. Back row here, Defender and Stealth, which is a hilarious combo.
Is it even a real combo? Huh. Interesting.
And then it does have an activated ability. If you played a spell this turn, play a mindless zombie minion. I've not played a spell. I'm not going to activate that.
Jared saying, I got this game through Kickstarter, but I only got one booster, which is 4 decks. But then y'all came out with a subscription, and it has a bonus exclusive card on top of it, so I had to get it.
Well, I mean...
That's awesome.
Marketing win. That's awesome.
I'm a big fan.
Camouflage Summoner going in the pocket here.
Let's just give you more problems than you know what to do with. You know what I mean? We're going to play a Summoning Worm, Stage 2.
That's a big one.
That is a big one. I'm going to upgrade him. You got to love Lightning Dragons. All right.
You may play a Spell Sprite too. Look at you go, Mr. Boardman.
Come on now. You're like, oh no, too many threats.
I think we got this.
This is an 11.
I think we got this.
This one goes to 11.
I'm playing the long game here.
Uh-huh.
I'm playing the long game.
If I win this first one, we'll just have to not play again. Let's call it a day. Undefeated. It's kind of like my record against the former Skytier World Champion. Undefeated.
All right, I'm going to play the Scourge Hydra here. It has a deploy ability. It's level 1. If one of your creatures was destroyed this turn, which it was, destroy a level 1 enemy creature. I'm going to destroy this level 1 enemy creature.
Well, he has... Just kidding. Nothing. He's gone. It's really sad. I like that guy.
Can you
Sir?
Swap out one of your reds for greens on your health?
Oh,
here?
yeah. There you go.
Red is going to be the front number. We'll make that happen.
This is for you.
Okay, and then I'm going to go get my level 2 Scourge Hydra, and I'm going to put it in there. Okay.
What up, David? You ready to party?
Yeah, let's run them.
You take one?
I'm taking one, going to 30.
I deal 5. You deal 1.
That's right.
That's going to ultimately have this guy go away.
That's correct.
I deal 11. You deal 5. It's going to go away. I deal 6. You deal 6. This guy's also going to go away. Board clear.
We cleaned that one up quite a bit, didn't we?
We'll see about all that. All right. We'll discard our cards. Should be 10. Perfect.
Yeah, got it.
Forge passes.
Defenders would move up, but defenders do not move up. Is that the idea?
That's right. He's stuck in that there back row. Okay.
Okay.
Seems good.
Okay. Am I the guy now?
You're the guy. You're the captain now.
There's so many synergies I want to utilize here. Dragon Fox saying, so stealth and defender is irrelevant, isn't it? Great question.
Seemingly.
Well, I think there's I've seen some cards that say give a stealth creature X or do this for a stealth, so
perhaps
I
not.
imagine those kinds of abilities are around.
You could also imagine if you found a deck to pair it with that really needed stealth to be around for whatever reason.
Yeah, like all these stealth buffs going on or something, yeah. Okay. How do we do this most effectively? And I'm the guy here.
Yeah, you're the guy.
I'm the guy, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. There's things I want to do now. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then this guy. Okay. Oh, Zach, these are not easy decisions. Who cares about the 1 over there, though? That's a 1.
It's just a little baby.
Nobody cares about that.
I will say, when I play a spell, it gets +2 attack. Every time.
You won't do that. All right, let's play War Machine level 1. I'm going to replace the Camouflage Summoner. And this says deploy. If it's replaced, give it +4. So I'm going to go 6. And big 10 health.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully you can't deal with that.
How much life do you have left?
Hey, what? Are you already asking that?
That's a... Are you supposed to be at 31?
30. That's 30.
Oh, okay. 30 health, eh?
30 health,
All
yeah.
right, let me just do some math real quick. I just love asking that kind of stuff.
Ah, yes, you're that guy.
Sweet. All right, let's just play a Firestorm. 7 damage to all creatures.
Okay.
Don't mind me. That's level 2.
Just giving things some room.
I just like keeping, clean board states.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, well, how about this? Let's play a Camouflage Warden, level 1. It's got stealth, and if I have another robot in play, which I do, it gets +4/+4. So I'm coming into a 7/7.
Wow, should have
With
waited
stealth.
to play my spell. But I wanted to play a spell,
And then I'm going to use my my Forgeborn ability. I'm going to give it +4. And it's going to gain 4 armor.
Wow. For the round, I'm not gonna do anything to it. You don't need to worry about it.
I'll just mark it for my. I just like it.
Derek Dunbar, Robot Warriors, count me in.
So all of a sudden, this Camouflage Warden got big.
He's attacking for 11.
Yeah.
Man, I might actually attack into him. Hold on.
And I've used my
They have
ability.
stealth.
That's exactly your problem, right? How much health do you have left?
Don't worry about it. Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's a problem. Let's play a level 2 Camouflage Basher.
Okay.
There.
Worth noting too, Lucas saying you can just take an action to upgrade a card in your hand, moving it directly to the discard pile without resolving it.
Just remove it.
Yeah.
All right.
I need to get that Camouflage Warden out. See? We gotta have systems.
End of round?
End of round. Now, there's no interrupts that we know of, right? We don't know that. I've never seen anything that
think so.
interrupts this segment of the game, which I particularly love.
I'll take 11 to the teeth.
So you take 11 to the face, and then we trade here.
We demolish, yeah. We discard. We should have 15. And we'll see who upgraded the best. This passes. We'll move to the next stage. I'll refresh it into a red. It would be cool to have a double-sided token to show what stage we're on and, which, if you've used it or not. Just putting that out there for the big brains.
Pito Pocket, no, it does not count as one of your 2 actions using hero power. You can use those kinds of abilities at any point during as long as you have the action. I'm gonna guess if there was a timing chart, it would be activate abilities, etc., action, activate abilities, etc., pass.
Yeah, when you're taking actions, I believe it is, you can activate anything, and then you take your action, and then you can still activate anything you haven't activated.
Yeah.
All right, a lot on the line here.
Good question. I think this is true. Frisbee, does breakthrough only work in the front of the lane?
That's right.
Okay.
Because, let me read breakthrough. Well, this creature is in the front row.
There you go.
Any damage dealt by it to an opposing creature, etc., etc.
Problem solved. Okay, now we're on level 2 ability.
Yep.
What's your level 2 ability?
Play
or level 3.
Spell Swarm Minion, which is an upgraded version of that sprite.
Should get a free minion, a 3/9.
A 3/9 that when I play a spell becomes a 6.
Ooh, shields up on this ability. Check this out. Give you and your creature 6 armor this turn. Soak 6 damage I would take as the player, and all my creatures get 6 armor. You better watch yourself.
My level 3 or level 4 ability over here is you and one of your creatures gets 15 armor for a turn.
JP11, can I use an earlier hero ability in a later turn, like the level 1 ability in the last round? So I don't believe you can use the previous ability in the current cycle. Do you know that?
That's
for
right,
sure?
you can't.
Okay.
Yeah, we're on stage 2, so use it or lose it.
You're too strong. You've gone a different direction.
Yeah. Ooh, the synergy.
See, I'm all on these synergies now. Like the 2 cards in my hand right now are sick together.
And I'm telling you, when you start, the more I played with the original versions of the deck we had, the more you start understanding the lines. And like it gets, there's a lot there. It's crazy. Okay, I'm going to play my Combat Bartok level 2. We're going to cruise him up to level 3. Deploy. Give the next creature I play this turn +4/+4. Watch out.
Mm-hmm. That's a big deal.
And the pacing of playing to front and back row is really interesting.
It's good. It like solves the summoning sickness problem without it being like awkward.
Yeah. You have tempo turns, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, you've got to deal with this clearly. So your next play is going to be in front of this, right? Or you put a minion in there or something.
I have to do something. Correct. Yeah. And I will. It's good, man. The other thing is, we're playing completely new decks, right?
Yeah.
We haven't played this game in a minute. I feel I'm having a good time, and I have 0 brain burn.
It doesn't burn you.
There's like the memory usage, the Mew we talk about in the How to Run a Game series, is almost at 0. It's fascinating, but then actually there's so much depth. It's not just because it's like simple.
Yeah, because it's just not a lot of the information isn't building. The board isn't getting wider. The static abilities aren't stacking up.
Even the execution of like combat's not crunchy.
Yeah. It's not like, do I attack with 2 things into your 3 things or 5 into my 4?
Your decisions are what are you playing,
yeah,
and then
awesome.
It just does its thing.
Honestly, it was on Wisconsin, Mr. Dragonfly. That was the old Chelsea High fight song, as I'm sure it is for many out there.
Yeah, for some reason.
Where if you can believe it, Zach and I were in band together.
True.
What'd you play?
Watch out. I know everybody's pretty surprised by that.
You might be, though.
We were in band and academic bowl together.
Trumpet seems like a quads guy.
One of us played football, one of us played basketball. I'll let you be the guest.
You were both trumpets?
No, I was trumpet. Zach was saxophone. We called him Sax Bun.
Very true. No, it's not true at all.
Okay. Oh, Zach.
Zach, I definitely think that was kind of my point. The like learning to play / if you want to just like have a good time, memory usage is very low. But I think that once you understand what your decks are doing and what your opponent's doing, the level of depth and skill you can actually apply to it is really high. So what that means is that all the energy your brain is doing is actually like meaningful strategic decisions and not just execution of the game. Like Star Wars CCG, a classic example, we've been throwing back to that. Love that game. But like 80% of the brain power in that game is just trying to attempt to play the game correctly. And reading the flavor text.
You're at 21 over there?
21, dude. Come at me. You don't want none of this? I'm about to change your worldview.
I'm about to give you something to think about.
You're gonna learn today.
I'm gonna play my level 3 Venerable Creeper over here. Deploy, deal 7 to Zach unless you destroy a creature. Yours, not mine. Yours. Do you want 7 or do you want to keep the board alive? What do you think? You're gonna learn today.
You're gonna learn today. That's a pretty beefy creature, man. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not gonna attack this turn.
But it's just beefy. You know?
It'll come in next turn. I'm planning for the future.
Yeah.
This guy's a beef. That's where the beef's at.
He's got to go, you know?
That thing's the big Montana.
That's a level 3?
It's a level 3, so I can't upgrade it any further, and that actually makes it a less efficient play than everything else in my hand, which would have advanced my late board state.
I can't take damage anymore.
That's right. But sometimes you play the board, sometimes you play the game.
Okay, I'm going to play my Utera Charger. If you remember, I have a static floating effect here. Give the next creature I play his turn +4/+4. So he's coming in at 11/11. Just I'll have you remember that. These are 10s, I think.
Yeah.
We'll call them 10s.
We need, but this one goes to 11.
11.
We're gonna need more dice.
I have a player's worth of dice. I think in the Kickstarter I did. I'm gonna get more dice, so we'll have plenty by the time that shows up. Deploy. You may have this battle a creature. If this survives the battle, it may battle another creature.
Does it have to battle across from it though? You're sure about that?
Yeah, because there's it.
Oh right, because the text would make it not relevant, right?
So how is that possible?
Can we turn the AC off again?
I'm gonna have it battle this thing.
That seems pretty good.
You do 6.
Yeah. Didn't have breakthrough or anything.
No. My. Can you imagine?
Now that would be something.
Yeah.
There might be a version that does.
It survives, so I'll also have it battle here.
Okay, what does that mean?
I do 11, you do 11 back to me, we both go away.
Okay. Cool.
So I've reset the board. That was my Utera Charger. Okay, and then
my go.
Yeah.
We get a free play here. That
air really keeps trying to come on for us.
Oh my gosh. So I don't have a lot of great options here.
You played something, right? So you should have upgraded something.
No, it was level 3.
Oh, I think do level 3s get banished?
Oh no, they don't. They go to your discard pile, yeah.
That would be.
But they don't get upgraded.
That would
obviously.
be not fun.
Yeah, it's like there they go. Woo! See ya. Okay. Fine. What if we did? It's just the wrong time for this card.
Yeah, I had that last round. I was looking at a card and I was like, I wish I was the one going first here.
Okay. Well, then this. It's just got to be this. Just going to play a Camouflage Summoner there. It's going to get to its level 3 version. That's worth something.
Defender Stealthers.
I can't get away from him. I love him.
All right. Go to the end phase.
Yep.
No battles happen.
Nope.
Discard our hands. Should have 5 cards sitting over there.
Got it.
5.
Now I'm the first player. Okay. You better watch yourself here, buddy. In fact, let's see if there was. Okay.
I'm not your buddy, pal.
Oh, thanks.
Good, I'm just hooking you up. I guess I am your buddy, pal.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be the worst kind of person.
Excellent. I'm so relieved to hear it. You know? I was really hoping that you would.
I know exactly what I'm going to do.
Be horrible, please.
Okay. Well, now the timing is kind of everything, isn't it? I've got the board advantage.
Oh, yeah.
I play it. No, it advances.
To Defender.
Oh, right.
She's stuck.
Bummer.
Bummer, man. Carl, good question. I played Digital SolForge years ago. Cool to see it's coming back in paper. Looks like I missed the Kickstarter. Will TC be carrying this? When's the release? We are. You can find the subscription on our website right now. If you sign up, display is going to come with 16 unique decks that can be paired together. You pick 2 decks to start when you play. So that's a lot of ways to use that. And first set from the subscription is expected to come out around May. And that'll be the first set of the game.
Okay, we're going to have to do a wild... This is wild, man. I'm telling you, this is wild.
I'm pretty excited about my play.
War Machine in the middle. It's not going to replace anything. It's just going to be a 4/10. I'm going to go get the level 3 version. Put it in the stack.
He's kind of beefy.
Yeah, well, it has all the makings of something that would look beefy. So we'll go 4 here. We'll go 10 here. That's the wrong die for that. And then I'll pass it on over to you.
You got some beef up in here. Okay. I'm going to play a Summoning Worm, Stage 3. Deploy, you may play a Spell Swarm minion. We will. Here.
Mm-hmm.
This one goes to 11. 15. Don't let him stick around. Luckily, he's only got 3 health. He's meant for dying.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Clark says, I haven't listened to the podcast yet, but do you have a sense of how often sets are going to release? I think the intent is about 3 per year. So a little faster than KeyForge.
There's also a lot of confusion about half decks and decks. I don't know how they're ultimately going to brand it, but here's how we're talking about it right now. Every deck is its own institution. You combine 2 decks to make what you're playing the game with. So every booster box has 4 of those decks. So you combine any 2 of those decks together. And then every booster display has 16 of those decks, also known as 4 booster boxes, also known as 16 decks.
Right. And if you get 4 decks, you have enough for 2 people to play against each other. And there's obviously a number of ways that you can combine the 2 decks to kind of create different experiences.
Okay, so you're going to have one more play, as am I. Okay, I'm going to do a force field, level 1. So before I forget, I'm going to go get level 2 here. And it says give a creature 6 armor. So I'm going to go 6 armor on my war machine here. Mm-hmm. If it's on a warrior, which it is, it gets plus 6 attack. So it's going to go to 10. And then I'm going to play an activation ability here with my camouflage summoner level 2. If I played a spell this turn, which I have, I play a mindless zombie minion.
That was a good little play.
Thanks.
Sir?
It's going to have exactly 3 attack.
Oh no. But this one goes to 11. Okay. Mine?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to play a...
That's awesome, Zach. Deck is a deck. 2 decks make a sandwich. 2 sandwiches make a meal deal. 4 meal deals make a hunger box.
That's right. Let's get a cheese plate in here.
That's simple.
Lizzie and Rain, stage 1. I may play a Wisp minion. Wisp. Sure. Put it here. And then... Oh, wait, actually, hold on before I play this. I'm not playing this yet. I'm going to play it. I'm using my ability. I'm going to play a Spell Swarm minion. Can you...
So play the minion, then play the Wisp, and then all your minions get +1/+1.
You got it. So check this out. So then I'll play the Wisp, Lizzie and Rain. All my minions get +1/+1. So these guys are 3.
Those Spell Swarm minions aren't messing around.
They're a real deal. So they get +1 attack, +1 life across the board.
Mm-hmm.
And so this will be a 3/3.
Mm-hmm.
And then these things say when I play a spell, which I just did, they both get +3 attack.
Uh-huh.
So now they're cruising.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And then Lizzie and Rain goes here. Let's grab Lizzie and Rain.
Wargby, there's a name on the bottom of every deck. So you can find the things that go to the right deck. There's a name in the bottom of every card.
Okay. End of round?
And you can combine 2 decks of the same color, yep.
All right.
End of the round. Yeah, I'm done.
This doesn't fight. No fight. These do fight. I deal 7 to you. Which
6
is 6
armor, and 1 goes to 9. And then I do 10 to you.
Smoke me. Cool. This doesn't fight because there's nothing over there to fight.
That's correct.
I deal
a bunch, and I take 3. Or I deal 3 back.
Thanks for playing.
5 in the pocket.
And I have 10 sitting over here. Now, it's interesting. If I had played a stage 3 and it stayed out, because there's no upgrade cycle, now it gets a little weirder. Because there would only be 9 cards over here. But you destroyed my level 3, so here we are. So we'll draw 5.
Move up.
Yep.
on your side, and then we draw 5. And this is the last, so I'm going to be using my ability this round.
This would be a good turn to use the ability.
So just keep that in mind. I don't know, maybe they did, Nathaniel. 2 different color decks. You can combine 2 of the same color, Lucas is saying, if you're playing casually. So it looks like at like a tournament level, 2 different color decks is what you're looking for. Okay. Okay.
Wow.
You're at what, 21?
Wowie.
And I'm the inactive Forge? Did you do that for me?
I moved it for you, yep.
Why do you keep doing that?
I'm just your friend. You know?
Mm-hmm. All right, you got the first play. I'm curious to see where this goes.
Yeah, it will be interesting.
Simon asking, when it comes out, will it be available in the UK store through us? Since we're only doing it through the sub right now, we don't have any subs in the UK currently. That's an entirely different
We're approaching
piece of pie,
that problem, but that's
we're looking at it. And if and when those subscriptions are available in the UK, SolForge is very likely to be one of them. eForce, are the 5 columns of play mandatory, or could you also do matches with 3 or 4? I'm sure any form you could do anything you wanted. You could do 3 lanes, 5 lanes, 8 lanes. The standard, like normal format of the game that I'm sure will be organized play and whatnot is going to be 5 lanes. I think all the cards are designed around, adjacency being limited to middle tiers, but you could have an awesome match with like 20 lanes and 6 players on each side, and you could just start slinging cards.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna play a level 2 Thunder Soar here. He's the one that gains attack for every damage that he's got.
Your stuff keeps getting stronger is the problem.
It's weird, isn't it? He has 16 health too, so he's a beefy boy. He looks like a breakthrough, so watch out.
Okay. So we might want to block you. Is that what we're saying?
I'm just trying to get all my cards to gold. That's my mission.
The inactive player, very interesting. That's a fascinating problem. Okie dokie. And what is my ability? 6 armor to everything. So I should feel pretty cool about that.
That's a pretty stonks turn right there. Like, you can't touch me this round. Okay. Alex Backers, Axe Beefy Boys are back.
All right, we're gonna see this.
Print it. Print the shirt.
Can't touch this.
Evan says, I didn't back this during Kickstarter because I had no idea what the comparisons to Magic Jumpstart were all about, but now I'm really bummed I missed out. This looks so good. Well, lucky for you, you can hop around on a subscription.
That's right. Bernardo, yes, creatures' mobility are still in the game. Oh my gosh. There's a lot. There's like 3 specific lines here.
Only take one. I guess hypothetically you could take one that still allows other ones to be open.
You don't really want to be sitting here playing stuff. Okay. So how about this? Let's do camouflaged inventor.
Stage 1.
Stage 1.
Still playing those basic things, eh? Weird.
Deploy, play a gizmo minion.
That 10 damage area sure would be nice right now.
Let me make sure this is right. I gotta look at this minion pile before we get too far ahead of ourselves here. Let's put it here.
Okay.
And then I'll pass it over to you.
I'm gonna play my level 3 camouflaged basher. Stealth, can't be blocked by things in the back row. Also breakthrough. Any excess damage it deals to something also hit your...
That seems pretty good. It can't be blocked, and if it can, then it breaks it through anyway.
Caesar, hey guys, did you post a tutorial on SolForge? We have not, but there is a really good 10-15 minute overview from Quackalope over on YouTube. If you're looking for a condensed version, or if you scroll back to when we first started playing this game, it's so simple to pick up how to play the game.
Oh my gosh, there's some craziness here. Okay. We have a plan.
This is your armor turn, eh?
If you can believe it. Yeah. But nothing can block that dragon. Unless it can. It really can't.
I think it's actually like a T-Rex. It says dinosaur. Although dragons and dinosaurs are like cousins, right?
Yeah.
Hypothetically. In this fantasy universe we're in.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to play Nano Swarm. I'm going to go get the bigger version here. This is robot stuff. This is... I
play purple, would like to know. Favorite cut of steak.
I see how this robot is... Oh, me? Man, I haven't really... I usually go for, I think, a ribeye. I've been into the prime rib recently, too, though, and I know that's kind of...
Do you remember what the guy at Pop's Brothers recommended to me? It's like marble.
Oh, no. It all kind of runs together.
It's a certain cut. Whatever that was.
I mean less beef.
Was it a chuck?
I don't know.
It's kind of a secret butcher's cut.
I'm getting fish now. Like, I'm going to get fish at the fancy places now.
Okay.
You know, we're trying not to die now. Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah. I've been testing out a whole food plant-based diet, so meat off the menu.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to deploy Nano Swarm level 2. I can play a Mega Gizmo minion, and if I have a scientist, I can play 2 instead. So I get 2 Mega Gizmos because I have a scientist here. They're different art. Okay.
Nice.
So one of these Mega Gizmos is going to... See, they keep replacing. That's the beauty. That's what the robots are trying to do.
Yeah. One can replace the regular gizmo, right? And it can be a super mega
gizmo.
Yeah,
and it's an 8-8. And then we can do one there as well. And then we can go 3. That's just... Okay. First, replace this gizmo with a bigger version so it becomes an 8-8.
Oh man, can you gizmo the gizmo?
I think you can, but I'm not going to. But I think you can. And this they aren't gonna fight anyway, so this won't matter too much. I will go ahead and replace here
with Mega Gizmo.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna activate. I played a spell, so I'm gonna play a Mega Mindless Zombie minion.
Look at you go.
Here.
Gross.
Courtesy of my camouflage summoner. And we're gonna see what happens. Because I did a lot of things, and I'm not quite sure how it's all going to work.
Are you triggering your everything gets 6?
I absolutely am. 6 to everything, including me.
Ready to resolve?
Ready.
I'll take 2 and do none because you have armor.
It's not really what I wanted.
I
need that thing dead.
13 straight to you.
Minus 6 is 7.
Yeah.
So 30 becomes 23.
Nice, nice, nice. I do 0 here. You do 10.
That's correct.
So I'm going to lose 10, and I'm going to gain 10 attack.
We'll be back for you.
Yeah. I'm going to deal 7. You have 6 armor, so you really only take 1.
Take 1. Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're going to deal 3, so I'm going to go down to 7 life. And then...
Where's your red die? We're missing a red die. Oh, you got the double there. Here, I'll get this guy going.
And then these don't fight. There's no fight happening there. So this passes to you.
Okay.
We are now...
We're in the end game now, aren't we?
Going to go to the last stage. Should have 20 cards in your deck.
Wow.
Well, I only have 19 because I have a level 3 out here.
Wow. Now like, isn't this is like this is when it gets really interesting to me. I mean, not that it like, but you're kind of been growing to this final battle. Yeah. It's like crazy.
You also start realizing how much more damage you can do from a good play here than you can earlier.
could play to the board.
There are some moments here at the end with all the big cards that can be crazy.
Okay. I'm going to use these D6s for health, so I've got enough for the board. At least some of the board. Okay, so now I've got 5 cards. We go to the next cycle, as you say. So my ability knockback, move up to 2 creatures to the back row of any lanes. You may give them -10.
-10 what?
That's Ironbeard that has that ability. -10 attack.
Gotcha. I have you and one of your creatures gets 15 armor this turn. That's the
you?
That's the Hail Mary. Like things went wrong and I did not die.
Yeah.
Specifically, let's not die.
Let's see what we get.
It all comes down to this. You're on the play.
And it's me. And I've got 1 slot.
1 slot?
I've got 1 slot to threaten. Okay.
AoE 10 after we're all done playing here would not hurt.
You got AoE 10?
Maybe. Remember when I did AoE 5 and then 7? And
probably, yeah.
We kept upgrading that card that did the AoE damage.
That might be in the game. Yeah, in the game there.
Possibly a threat. You might want to. See, I love this. People are talking about the layout and the art and stuff in terms of not digging it. And Nathaniel's saying, I love the borders on the cards.
You know what? This is now crazy.
Steven has reached the depth.
Are you crazy?
Are you crazy?
See, if I had known better, you know? If I had only known.
There's a card I really like. I just drew one of the upgraded versions and really understand what's going on. It's like I would have been playing that way earlier.
It's so, man, aggressive is a great keyword for like the final volley.
Yeah.
If I had an aggressive war machine, I would lose my mind. Okay, so things may be going badly here. And stealth just means the back row can't block. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. He does have breakthrough.
Yeah.
So does this thing.
Yeah.
So just
with it.
Watch yourself.
It only break through 1 there. That's acceptable.
Presently. Mm-hmm.
That's acceptable. Okie dokie. Then, if we play a spell, we get scientist. If we have a scientist, we get to do that. Let's make a deal. 3, 9. All right. I'm going to play Palladium Pulse Mage.
Okay.
Level 2. And it's going to replace this Mega Gizmo to get +6/+6.
He has the beef.
So we're going to have to convert to late game dice here.
Okay. And then it has an activated ability. Each player destroys their lowest power creature. Okay.
That's right. Okay. So 14 and 9.
Seems good.
This is where the D20s come in. In fact, I've got a bunch of those. Let's use those.
You know what the gems are for in the middle, right?
I think it's the rarity.
Luckily, the old bag of D20s making it happen. Look at that. We're going to upgrade to smoking you.
Come on down.
Oh, yeah. And am I going to activate that right now? Clear up a slot for both of us.
A defender needs to go.
We're not going to activate it right now.
All right. Decisions.
Let me get my level 3 here.
All right. We're going to play my level 2 Unstable Razortooth. He's the one that when he takes damage deals or loses a life, deal 2 to all of your creatures.
Okay. Solid.
You don't have any die.
What do you need?
Just any die works. Oh, here it is. I got it. It's fine. I'll just put it up here.
I'm just feeling I'm playing Lord of the Rings TCG. Got like Dragon Tears out, and it's like, oh yeah, let's go.
Let's do this.
Okay, so now it's me.
We could use those fab boards that with the D6s.
Did it do 2 to everything or just me? Enemies?
2 to enemy creatures.
Only.
Enemies only.
Okay.
Cool, isn't it?
It's pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool, man. Ooh, I want to keep this card in my hand. You got one more play, too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Level 1.
Mm-hmm. Ah, yeah, back to basics. Let's go.
It's going to take a second before I actually commit to this.
Vyrix Embrace.
2 damage to enemy creatures only. I just don't know. We trade. You get some breakthrough moments there. A little bit there too. That's just annoying. You're so annoying. Why do you do it? Why do you do this?
Why are you the way that you are?
All right, let's see what happens here. And the zombie goes. That thing is fine. Then that happens. Yeah, let's smash it. Okay, Vyrix Embrace, level 1.
On it.
Deal 4 damage to a creature.
This one. Do this one.
I think I am.
What?
Actually, do you think I am? We're gonna make sure that's right. Yeah, let's deal 4 to that one.
I'm confused.
And then I gain 4 life. 1, 2, 3, 4.
When this loses life, deal 2 damage to each enemy creature.
Right. Done.
See one of the life? I'm.
Then we have
what do you got?
A couple of plays.
Terrified.
We're gonna do.
Oh, I see.
Activate here. Everyone destroys their lowest health.
Lowest health or attack?
Lowest attack. That's right. This goes here. Vyrix is in. This goes here. And then. Oh wait, we gotta do that backwards. Do this one first. If you played a spell, which I did, to clear that out, put a mindless zombie in. We're gonna throw that back here.
Clever.
And then we're gonna use that to destroy the lowest health stuff.
Gotcha. I see. I see.
I'm just trying. I want these level 1s to get better.
Yes.
So I'm finding ways to like not have a brick in the next shuffle. And then I don't think this is the time for knockback. I think that's my Hail Mary as well. Nathaniel, that's kind of where we are with this too. I think that's one of the great strengths of the entire model, Keyforge and this. I love the fact that it feels like I can play this awesome, get the TCG vibe, but not hurt my wallet so much, and I can actually keep up with Fab. Yeah. Like this is, I mean, you know, go have a good time with it, kind of a situation, kind of a game.
This is what I've got to play. I'm gonna play my Lizzie and Rain stage 2. This thing is crazy. I should have played it way sooner last time. I can play up to 2 Wisp minions. So I'm going to play 1. Make sure that's all I want. Then all of my minions get +3/+3. Ooh. So it's going to be a 5. And then this
10-10 over there on
is
Spell
a
Swarm?
10-10, but then it's going to get 3 more attack.
Because you played a spell.
Because I played a spell.
It feels like that faction is a spell swarmy faction. Here you go.
I think particularly with the
Oh, it's just the 3. Okay.
with the green cards, like they're both. This is a good pairing of decks. They're both messing with minions in a kind of unique way, which is really interesting. Okay, played all my stuff. I'm not going to activate any more abilities.
This guy's dead, right? He took 4 damage.
He's got 8.
Oh my gosh! I thought that was a 4.
That's why I was really confused.
Oh, that's really weird. Yeah.
I was like.
I was thinking it would kill him. I thought that was his health.
Oh no, that's his. That's
fine.
That's his attack.
Keep it up.
Yeah, you did that, and I was like, and then you started doing more stuff. I was like, oh, there's something else coming, and then
I was like, oh, he's not clear.
I mean, it was kind of fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Attacks.
All right. Nothing happens here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do 13
tradesies.
So I break through 1.
Yeah.
I'm doing 10.
I'm doing 10.
I have breakthrough.
Right. So I'll take 3.
Yeah.
This 3 to you, so you go down to 10. Zombie off the board.
That's 7.
Yeah. And then 8 to you, dead. Take 4 back, and then take 6. Yeah, so that was very bad.
So that was very bad.
So this is the second of the last round?
This is the first of the last round.
Okay.
Yeah. Then this flips to me.
And this goes to the discard. We got 5 in the discard.
I'm flipping this for you.
Draw 5.
And so it is worth remembering.
2, 3, 4.
We will have one more play in round 4. And after next round, whoever has more life is the winner. If there's a tie, we will go one more turn.
Not this round, but the one after.
Yeah. So I'm going to take 1 as active. You're going to take 1 as active. And whoever has more life at that point wins. Or, of course, if someone actually gets the other person to 0. Etc.
Etc. Etc. Ooh, there's certain combinations here that would be awesome. Okay, I see that.
All right.
5, 6.
I'm going to play a Stampeding Stormling, level 1. He has mobility 1, so he can activate to move 1 lane.
Okay.
And then he's got breakthrough. So if he overkills something,
I see your game plan here.
I got some stuff going on. Yeah.
7.
Got a breakthrough in there.
Let's
It's a smash and bash deck.
do
RT by followers, Prime, and viewers.
Dude, we could be winning. We could be famous on Instagram.
You're what, 23?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Gotta watch out. It's a close game.
Mm-hmm.
I can play this for days. If I had like a stack of decks, I could probably play this for a very extended
Very
amount
long
of
time, right? Let's play a Venerable Creeper here. It's a 6/8. 7 damage to you unless you destroy one of your creatures.
Why you gotta be like this?
I had a guess as to which one you would destroy. We'll see if I was right.
It's gonna be the Wisp.
I knew it.
Oh wow, that's so yeah, that works even better than I thought it did. That's crazy. Yeah, I think I'll get rid of the Wisp. Thank you
got it.
very much. Yeah.
You got it.
Thanks for playing. Okay. Huh. Huh.
We're playing SolForge Fusion now, buddy. So right now, if I don't take any more damage over the next 2 turns,
You would win.
I will win this game.
Yeah. Luckily, next turn I have that big 15 armor.
Time to play goalie.
Finale. It's like, don't let you do more damage, but I gotta sneak some in.
You gotta sneak some in here.
Which I'm gonna try to do right here. I'm gonna play Vine Lash stage 2. It says one of your creatures strikes. I think. Interestingly, I looked up strike. So strike is it deals its attack damage. It doesn't even get dealt back.
Nice.
So I'm gonna do 13 there.
Yeah, you got it. You got that.
He's gonna get +3 because it's a spell.
He'd get it at first, wouldn't he?
I don't know the timing of that actually.
I'll bet he would. This goes to the discard.
All right. Vine Lash, top 5 cards right now.
It's a Bulbasaur.
I couldn't name any other cards to put on my top 5, but it's on there.
Don't like this trade.
Yes, yes.
Okay. 3/7 breakthrough, not ideal.
And you already used your stage 3 or not? What is your stage 3?
Push 2 creatures to the back row. One of them gets -10.
This would be a good turn for that.
I think it would be, yeah. I think it would be.
Because next turn I have to play the back row.
Yeah. We're looking.
Oh no!
Okay.
This is a problem. I better draw my direct damage card and stat.
All right, let's play a Camouflage Banshee here.
Or aggressive, I guess. I don't know, man.
It's level 2, so I'll get level 3 here.
Was that the one that? No, it wasn't.
When an enemy creature is destroyed by this, deal 5 damage to the enemy player. That's how that one goes. Yeah.
It's a shame I can't mobility here. You know what I mean? Cool, cool. You have any other actions you'd like to take before we're going?
I guess so. Yeah.
Don't like this.
I guess I'll just move these 2 back.
Yeah, that's so good.
And then I'm gonna give this guy -10.
Cool. All my work. All right, end of the round. Nothing happens. We discard our hands. Draw 5.
Okay.
This passes over to you. And probably
your stuff moves back up, right?
That only moves up when you
No way.
become the Forge player.
No way.
I'm 99% sure. Lucas, if you're out there, I need confirmation.
That is busted.
That's what I was saying. Like
true.
it's silly.
I am the greatest Forge born on Earth, or whatever planet this is.
I'm basically just here to make you lose to a burn effect. That way,
I can have a lot to say.
you can have a lot to say.
Oh man. There's so many actually very interesting lines in this, and I'm a huge fan. Okay. Okay. Oh, yes. Oh, man.
I thought I really had the bestie of that last round, and then I read your card.
Oh my gosh.
Frisbee's saying, don't both creatures get knocked to -10? Is that true?
You may give them -10. Yeah, I guess so.
Cool.
So now let's see. So you've got to play to the back row. I've got to make sure you can't do any damage. So I think I also need to threaten to do as much as possible.
Yeah, because I got to not take damage.
Yeah. Okay. Destroy a creature, replaced a creature. I don't really want to replace anything, you know? Let's play a Camouflage Summoner here. 3/16. Level 3. Defender. Let's not do that.
I wish there was a way to have like a TV show narration to the thoughts in your head. Be like, oh, 3/16, this is the card to play. It's like, Defender, oh no.
Oh no. All right, fine. I'm just gonna do it. Let's play an Arrogant Sculptor, 4/4. The deploy effect to level 1, if you can believe it, and the 4/4 will not matter. I'm sorry, the deploy ability will not matter. It didn't replace a creature, etc.
All right, mine.
Yeah.
We're gonna play the stage 3 Utera Charger. Deploy. You may have this battle a creature. If it survives, repeat this ability.
Okay.
I'll punch there, take 4.
Dead.
I'll punch there for 11, take 6, and I have 1 life left.
Okay, that's pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good.
I like that unit.
He's a level 3 there?
Uh-huh. but I still got to score some damage.
You got the deal. I wonder if you have a card that like pushes one up. You know there's cards out there that do that.
Or aggressive. Aggressive would be a way to do it.
Aggressive would be really good here.
A card that just does direct damage to the Phoenixborn would be good too.
Into the Phoenixborn.
Or into the Forgeborn.
Let's get a crossover going, man.
I mean, it's crazy.
SolForge, Rise of the Phoenixborn.
Keyforge, SolForge, Phoenixborn. So what is this? Forgeborn? It's like I can't.
I've been born. Earthborn. Scourge Hydra's coming in. Level 2, deploy if one of my creatures was destroyed, which you happen to do. Destroy a 1 or 2 level creature. So we'll destroy that level 2 creature there.
That's not cool.
The Utera Charger's level 3, right? Invincible.
Yeah. It's gold. It's got the gold border. Okay. I am going to activate my trap card.
Yeah, I knew you had one.
We're going to give myself... Can I get another armor token? I just want to signify this.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know. What do you...
Where's all your armor?
No, I had
here, there's one here. It's fine. Here, I'll just mark it here.
Here they are. Yeah.
Got it. All right. So myself and this charger have 15 armor this turn.
Oh, really?
Yep. And then I'm going to play a level 3 Lightning Spark. Deal 10 damage to a creature or player. I'm going to let you guess what I'm doing.
5. I'm going to 13. You have armor as well?
15 armor, yeah.
What? I lose.
He got bamboozled.
Oh, look. Burn.
I told you, I'm just here to make you lose to burn.
You play the card, you do the damage.
Drat.
Garbage.
All right, so end of round. Here's how it resolves. No combat here. You combat me, but I have 15 armor.
Your ability's good too, man. You got that ulti. We worked those ultis now.
We had the stonks. So I soak your damage, and then we're at the end of the game.
If you didn't have 15 armor, how much damage would you be at?
13 life.
Wow.
What
we'd have been
13?
tied.
We would have had to go to sudden death. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So yeah, there you have it. That's SolForge, man.
There you have it.
And just to this is actually really nice. Very quickly, you can divide it by these colors. Just showing the cleanup.
All right, so I'm gonna put them on a stack.
Now, technically, if you were like at a tournament and you were keeping the stacks, your color method that makes a lot of sense, right? Because it's very easy to sort by these colors.
A few more rounds. You know, I had some good level 3s coming up.
Yeah.
You gotta watch yourself.
It's a fine balance because inherently your level 3s are doing more, but you also have less time with them. And I'm curious to look at it's like, my other Forgeborn and also the other pairings in the same.
There's so many, like, if you have a scientist in play, do a thing. If you have a warrior in play, do a thing. If you played a spell, do a thing. Play a spell and an activation. And it's like, if you find that right combo where you can just start wheeling and dealing like that.
Yeah. Like I had the fire creatures that get the +3 every time I played a spell.
Pair that with a heavy spell deck? Come on.
Yeah, you get it.
Come on.
We get the stock. So you can actually, if they're different colors, you can look at the name, but also this is green, right? So I sort it by color and then it's green, red.
Okay, that is way easier.
Yeah. After a couple games, I figured that out, and I was like, "Oh, that's significantly easier to divide these things back out." I'm really excited to see exactly how they utilize the pairings. But one of the things I really liked about Keyforge, they were sort of doing it light, is you would bring 3 decks, and your opponent would get to like banish one. But you can't put 5 decks, and your opponent banishes the one you can't use.
There we go.
So I could see a similar thing here where you bring like 4 or 5 that all need to be able to play together, and the opponent can like choose certain ones that you can't use or something like that.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Would be super cool.
And then what I'm gonna do is let me see these other decks while we're here. I'm gonna see if there's a different version of. So this is a different Forgeborn for the same faction I was playing. Had Ironbeard. Can you pull up Steel Rosetta?
Yep.
And then this gives you an idea of like how your Forgeborn can also affect what the synergies in your deck look like. So this one has Play a Gizmo minion, upgrade a level 1 card in your hand. So this is going to be more minion focused. Repurpose, choose a creature. If it's replaced this turn, you may reanimate it. So you replace it and then it comes back.
Wow.
So
that could be really, like that 6/6 you had, right? The Mega Gizmo?
Then check this out. It has the Inspire ability. It has the ability of your unused Forgeborn.
How cool is that? Like, inherently, whoever she's paired with really matters now.
Yeah.
Like, super matters.
I'm just fascinated by it. And it's also, this is a weird way to double up on level 3 abilities. Like, you can have a level 3 here of the other faction.
Mm-hmm.
So you can run this early and then go this late. I don't even know.
For sure.
That gets insane.
My other Forgeborn is Oros. From the deck name is the Wardens of Stuffing, the old Thanksgiving feast. So stage 2 is give a creature +2 attack, +2 health for each spell in your banish zone.
So you spell you played that over the course of the...
But at that stage, right, you're at stage 2?
Yeah.
So technically, you play 2 cards, 2, 4, 6. You could have 12 cards over there.
Uh-huh.
I'm guessing 6 to 8. It would be the highest number of spells in your banish zone.
You would only play 6 before you move to this next level, right? Because the
the
banish pile doesn't go away.
And then after three turns, you go up to stage 2.
So if you just jam spells the entire time,
the whole first half of the game, basically.
Wow. Yeah.
Then his level 3 ability here is give up to 2 of your creatures 8 armor this turn.
Always good.
Level 4 is give your creatures +7 life. You gain 7 life.
Yeah, great. All creatures get +7 life?
Give your creatures +7, yeah. Which is just crazy.
That's crazy. Okay, so what's up? Let's pull it back here a little bit.
Chat for a minute, yeah.
Let's chat.
That was,
oh, man. I quite like it and want to play it again. Not to say that that's terribly new.
It's a shame that we're just not going to ever get the chance to play it again.
Yeah, we'll never. Did it. See it. There it is. Anybody have any questions about anything?
We kind of got locked in there.
Questions? No. Did we play? Did we play okay? You know.
I could definitely tell at the end our engagement was getting higher.
Yeah.
Because we started doing this and very much focusing more.
Started to understand what was going on.
Yeah, and I found that, like, I'm really excited to have you get to witness you get to that, like, 5th to 10th game. In general.
You've played this quite a bit at this point, right?
Of course, I'm going in blind, but part of it is 2 or 3 games into a deck. It's that same feeling I got in Keyforge, which is it feels like you can learn how to be better with the decks you're using. And so there's a certain amount of, there's power levels in decks and synergies that naturally exist. But then on top of that, there's your ability to use it gets stronger over time.
And I think you start to look at what's my end game, what's my end game plan going to be. It's like I had that War Machine, for instance, and when it replaces things, it gets like +8 or +10. And then I also had a card that says when this card's replaced, it gives the thing that replaces it plus whatever. And so I might say, okay, so like my ultimate end game plan is to have this combo get something at like 28 or something. And then maybe I have a spell that strikes like you were doing all the time, or maybe I have something that can push it to the front row, or maybe I can bring in something aggressive to capitalize on that bonus. So you start to look at all of these decks. You have to look at level 3s and be like, okay, and then the level 3s on this one is like, well, these 2 level 3s go so well together, and then you early game are just jamming those out.
And like a pretty cool example here I wanted to show, because I was looking at my upgrade path at a certain point. I didn't end up playing the unit because I didn't meet the condition. I think you had a similar unit, the Swamp Moss Lurker. In level 1 is if you have 50 plus life, it's free, which means you get to play an extra thing, which I was like, I wasn't immediately. Like, you hit me early. But the level 2, that's kind of cool to see, of the Swamp Moss Lurker. If you have 40 life or more, it's free.
Oh, wow.
So if you can race to it, right? That's good. But then level 3...
And free is nuts.
Free is crazy, yeah. Level 3 is deploy. This gets +X attack, where it's equal to your total life.
Oh my gosh.
So if I had 21 left.
So like your whole game is basically don't take damage until you get to that level 3, and then bring it in for like 1,000,000.
And you can imagine you would want to pair this with a deck that can heal. So like early, if I can get to up above 50, play defense, play it for free. Stage 2, if I'm above 40, play it for free. And the higher my life is at the end, it's like, oh, he's a 40 attack unit. suddenly with like 20
I'm
health.
immediately interested in pursuing that.
That will be my route.
A couple of questions here. Dragon Fox asking, is there a better way to handle attack hit points than dozens of dice? There might be. We do it mainly because it's easier on the stream for everybody to see what's going on. And there is a number of effects in the game that change those things rather quickly.
So
you can do it either way.
I found when I was playing, at first I was doing what they were asking, which is, can you just leave it blank if things haven't changed? But over time, it's a little bit of work. It's kind of like upgrading the cards. It's like a little bit of effort consistently makes it way cleaner because my opponent never has to like, you just see it and it's there.
It's pretty obvious.
So after 3 or 4 games, everything gets very normal. Not normal. You get kind of in the repetition.
The rhythm, yeah.
Yeah, and once that clicks, I found that it really doesn't feel like you're managing a ton. And you're only doing so much in a turn, right, or a round. You're taking 2 actions. So like I play my thing, and then my opponent's now starting to think, and I have a moment there, but to like grab my upgrade card and to place my dice. So there's just a pacing to it that once you're in the flow, and we're on stream, so we're a little distracted by what's going on in general. That's really nice. But I think what you'll see in we're going to be streaming for the next couple of weeks, right? I'm kind of mildly questioning.
Months.
Specifically right now, we have a limited number of decks, of course. So at least for the next couple of weeks. And by the 2 or 3 weeks from now, if you're watching us stream and we've been hitting the same decks and stuff, I think you'll see it.
Yeah.
You'll see it even if I was playing this exact stack, the decision points that I'm making with a hand, it's like all the cards. You know what's really important to play early, mid-game, what you have to change based on what your opponent's doing. So it's really, really fun to go through that.
Couple of go through some comments here. Tristan Thorpe, do the booster displays differ from the Kickstarter booster boxes? Yeah, so it's basically 3 tiers of products. You have the decks themselves, and then you have 4 of those decks go into a booster box, and then 4 of those booster boxes go into a booster display, and that looks like a standard booster box from a TCG. It's like what a retailer would have on their top of their what do they actually do?
Shelves.
We put them on the top of the counter. That's what most retailers would do. Right? Shelves. Classic concept, flat surface, holds things.
I think the intent is that the box of 4 decks is the core unit.
Like you come into the store and you buy a box of 4 decks.
Yeah.
And
then I want to say, I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but the decks themselves are packaged in a way like KeyForge. When you open a deck before opening the plastic, you could see what was in it. But I don't think that's the case here. Okay. It's literally like if this was sealed, you can't see anything.
Nice.
Which is really nice from a store perspective, because one of our most successful things for KeyForge was the weekly sealed night, basically. And so it's pretty cool. You come in and it's like, here's 2 sealed decks.
Bring in. I will do that for the rest of time.
Yeah, open it, play. Yeah. And on it goes. And then you can also do kind of crazy like snake draft sort of stuff, which is you could open it where you can see like what's in the deck. Lay out 16 decks, have 8 players, everyone's going to need 2. It's like you're the one pick, you get your choice of all these, but you're also going to get whatever the last deck left is. And you do that kind of fun stuff. So I think there's a lot of interesting event style concepts. Yeah,
so that kind of leaves, at least for us, like as far as the games that we're curating currently, it's like Flesh and Blood is like your big ticket TCG competitive circuit, like, if you're looking for the Magic style thing, it's there for you. Then you got Ashes, which is essentially the LCG competitive, and LCG maybe style. Other things. I don't know. Let's see what happens with Ashes. And that's much more of like a tactical. I always refer to it kind of as chess, but it has a much more less wheeling and dealing. Like this is a wheeling and dealing. Like things are happening, things are leaving the board. It's wild. You don't know what's going to happen. Ash is much more meticulous, much more like calculated, incremental, right? Incremental, also beautiful styling, way different from something like.
I think the theme of Ashes is super notable from just how starkly different it is to anything else in the industry.
And then you have SolForge, which is kind of in the middle pocket. Right. Like it's going to probably be a little bit more expensive over time, depending on how you play it.
Than Ashes.
It's not a constructed deck game, so it's between those 2 pockets of actually having collections and constructing. But you're going to have these unique decks that make it really easy to immediately start playing. So it's a great, just like in between games, if you've got 30 minutes at lunch or something, it's a good one to just shuffle up and play.
I also think just like KeyForge, people that I think about Flesh and Blood, and to really be at the competitive level, It's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. It's like a sport. Like you have to train, right?
But you can get the feeling of that from this.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a card game in that way, and there's going to be very robust organized play.
And there's going to be extremely good players.
From online to casual, local to serious local to regional to higher level than that. But again, you're not deck building. You're pairing decks, and you can practice with a deck to get good with it. But a lot of the secondary energy is taken out.
Yeah.
Which is either something that you are very excited about, or that's like less appealing for you because you want that, right?
Yeah. I'll tell you, there is the secondary energy here is higher than Keyforge for me.
Oh, definitely.
But it's just enough. Like it's not so much that you lose the benefit of the model, but it's just enough that I can try. Like I'm the kind of person that would want I would scan all of my decks in. And then I would have all of them up, and you know what I'd probably do? I'd actually probably print each deck list out because I'm old now. And I would have all of them in front of me, and then I would start looking at like, this thing has a lot of camouflage units in it. This deck has a lot of things that support stealth. Oh, those two could work really well together. And then this one has this Forgeborn that would work. And I would start like destroying myself with trying to figure out the two best pairings.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. Prediction. Mark me. That's my new keyword.
Clip it.
I think that there was this website for Keyforge called Decks of Keyforge.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible website. Every deck that was registered on the Keyforge app was on this thing. You could basically mark the ones that you owned, right? And it doesn't. It's like an NFT. It doesn't mean anything to own it on the thing. I almost got stupid.
Wow.
But like,
slipped her right in.
You have all your decks on the account, and they had a thing. I don't remember what it stood for, but the SAS score of the deck, which is just an algorithm to figure out how good is this deck based on. It is difficult to have one algorithm really do that and account for synergy. But the reason I mention that is it does give you a basic idea of the power level of that deck. I would put money on someone building a tool that does a similar thing, but SolForge taking it to a different level might also say which of the decks on your account seem like they would work good together. Right?
That's true. You could send it to the robots.
It's going to know
the
keywords that trigger the like.
Where's the romance in that?
Even stats that say like.
What, we can go play against Deep Big Red or whatever, like, Deep Blue or whoever it is.
You can picture like a list of your decks. Keyforge would do this because it would on the deck it would show you here's how much amber you can generate, like when you just play cards.
Yeah.
Here's how many creatures there are. Here's that kind of thing. Same here where it's like how many cards have stealth.
Or even just like there's 20 spells in this deck, and it's like, oh,
that kind of counts. So then you start figuring that stuff out.
Spell decks.
So I'm just gonna guess there are going to be similar tools and it shows you the little additions, like the fact that you pair two decks together and how many layers that actually ends up creating. The Keyforge just didn't have. Right?
Yeah, because it's all contained in its own synergy. So if it's like SAS score 50, it's like wah wah. But this could be like. There's not really a score. It's basically like this has a lot of spells, or this has a lot of stealth, like you were talking about, or breakthrough.
And just the fact that you pair the two means you can't just evaluate a deck on its own anymore. You, the human, and the software might start comparing, like, how would these mash up, do we think? So anyways, I'm curious to see what tools the community comes up with.
That's like so fun.
Some stuff that's cool coming through. E4 is saying, you guys sold me on Earthborn, so I will always watch for recommendations.
That's awesome. Hey, we've got we're working on it. I think it's pretty much locked in. An interview with Andrew is going to be coming up on the stream here pretty soon about Earthborn. So stay tuned for that. It's coming along. It's looking great.
Howling Duck. I subscribed. This looks great. I would have missed it altogether without TC. Thank you so much for sharing.
I'm glad it hit for you.
If you're out there and you have not listened to the podcast I went up today, I highly recommend it. Big fan of Justin. Big fan of Stoneblade. I think this game and this publisher, it's why we're supporting it, is worth supporting. Yeah. And I'm super excited to dive into it.
They definitely care about it. I mean, it may not hit on every level, and it may not hit for you, but they care so much about this, so much that this is coming out of SolForge going under, and that stuck with Stoneblade to an extent that it's like we've got to bring it back. They were working on this for years to try to get that to happen.
Very cool story.
Right Time Gaming, you covered that. What do you think? Because you've jammed a ton of games of this.
Yeah, basically asking, once you're familiar, how long do you think rounds would be? With the previous decks I was playing with, we were playing in 20, 30 minutes every time. And that was after not a lot. Like, I think it may be even faster once you are really jamming. But once you were kind of familiar, and then the rules, and you're not looking up keywords and all that kind of stuff, and you get better. So you find ways it's like in any game, it's like, how are you going to create the openings to actually do damage? Mm-hmm. And you start seeing those lines. So then I think that starts happening faster. Like the number of times you get to the end might change.
Yeah.
But also the better you get, the better you are preventing those from happening.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a little push and pull, but yeah, I think 30, 45 minutes would be, it would be 45 minutes to an hour if you really lean back.
Mm-hmm. So it'd be about an hour for me.
Yeah.
I lean back and forward commonly.
Yeah, I think on stream, because we are very lean back, we're interacting with the stream. A lot of times we have drinks involved, of course. I think it's probably an hour per game. Yep. But that's with us streaming. So usually you can take our time and cut it in half, and that's probably a normal session.
Let me piggyback on that too, because I think one of the other great things about this, you can tell it comes from a digital design. This game would be very smooth to play on webcam. And like that didn't used to be a thing that I thought about very much. Mm-hmm. But the fact that you have clearly defined lanes that you can link up on via webcam, you have the health totals showing. There's no interrupts. There's no, are you want to do anything? Do you want to react? Do you want to?
There's no attachments.
So
like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. There may be someday, but like I'm not attaching stuff to your side of the board.
Yeah.
So all of everything I'm doing is on this half, which does make it webcam friendly.
And that's just more important these days than it ever has been. So I think that's it. I think that's everything we've got. Again, on the interview, on the podcast, they are wanting to make a digital client like we had wanted Keyforge to do for 1,000 years. If it's successful, it's currently working great on Tabletop Simulator. If you do that, you can scan in your decks, or at least you're supposed to be able to eventually scan in your decks and load them automatically into Tabletop Sim. So that's getting built or already built.
Honestly, and I ranted about this with Keyforge a lot, but I really do hope they make an app. Because for me, I play a lot of Flesh and Blood right now. That's like, I can have one really competitive game in my life. Mm-hmm. I think that's about what I have the bandwidth for. But the number of games of Keyforge and then even this, if there was an app that I think I would play.
I know, it's too much, right?
Just in that,
I'll take another box.
That downtime, you just have an hour or two, and you're looking to just kind of chill out and play a game.
Yeah.
It would be high. And then that's where it's like, well, the World Championship's happening, and I've been playing on the app. Maybe I'll go and have a good time. So anyways, I'm super excited about this, and we're going to be streaming next week. Is it Wednesday next week?
Yeah, we'll do Wednesday next week as well, yeah.
So watch out for that. Dan asking, where's my Lord of the Rings TCG fix? We're planning on doing that Thursday next week?
Yeah, Thursday of next week.
Really unfortunate timing. It's just unintentional tease.
We'll do SolForge Fusion for a few Wednesdays, and then we'll be rotating it with Ashes on Wednesday. So that's kind of what you should expect moving forward for the game. Working into the schedule and exploring it. I mean, it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, listen to that podcast. And shout out to Stoneblade for getting us everything to make this happen and partnering with us. We're really excited. Check them out for sure.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.